go, people. Week number 4. We survived almost a whole month of Big River Talks. Welcome to today's sessions. We have some awesome guests today. I mean, we always have awesome guests, but today we're trying to branch out, and we're real lucky that we're getting a lot of attention from people that want to speak, that want to take the time to come sit in this podcast and take part of what we're trying to do for Laredo and to try to improve our community. Remember, the whole message behind this is not to point fingers, we know the issue is to try to find solutions and also to promote what's going on in Laredo. So we have a lot to talk about today. Like I said, we're really excited for the guest, and we'll introduce him in a little bit. But before we do that, I'm going to pass it over to Bojo, to wrap up what we had last week. Go ahead, Bojo.
Thanks, TJ Southman. Happy and pleased to be here tonight. Thanks for the welcome and the invite again. So yeah, actually, those of you that didn't tune in last week, we had another awesome show. We had awesome hosts, guests coming up. We had Miss Patty with her testimony and her journey with her husband with cancer, and I'm sure, I am more than positive that she reached somebody out there with all that great information that he had. And if you're still asking where or how to get that information, we have it online. So just look us up, and all that information is posted on there. And then we had the crew from
Drag House.
The Drag House. Wow.
That was
it's until it's like in your face, in front of you, that you actually, I guess, I'm not saying for lack of word appreciate, but these guys or gals, they do a lot of stuff for the community. It's not just like, it's something that, it's an art that they like to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you would sit and listen to what they do, all the different organizations that they're involved with, you'd be like, wow. So it's not just an art. Yeah, it's their art, but this is how they express it. But they help out a lot. So Laredo, we're trying to bring in this little, diamonds in the rough that we have here in Laredo that a lot of people don't even know that we have. The organizations, the groups. Again, if you want to be heard, if you want to express or say who you do, what you're going to do, this is your platform. Take advantage of it. It's for you to let the rest of the community, because everybody says, and yeah, who here hasn't heard, oh, Laredo, nothing really happens in Laredo, and maybe you don't know about what's going on in Laredo, and that's what this platform is for, to let everybody else know. And we've been saying in the past shows, if you think your organization is not big enough or don't know how to get across the message across, reach out to us. We'll help you format what you're going to do before we bring you up as a host, and you can talk about what you need to talk about. Simple as that, but as TJ mentioned, it's big boy rules. No negatives. Nobody's going to criticize anybody. If you have something bad to say, don't say it. If it's a constructive criticism comment, go for it. But again, that's not what this platform is for. And if you get offended by the little things that we say, just tune us out. But if you're not, if you're here to find solutions to the real issues that are hiding in Laredo that only some of us know or some of you know and the rest of us don't, this is the happy medium to bring all that up front, and let's find solutions, guys. We already know the problems. Everybody already knows the problems. Now let's put a solution to it. So there you go.
So thank you. Southman, you want to say something already?
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again. We are here again on Thursdays. It is another Big River Talks podcast, and we always thank you for joining us. Just keep in mind, if you have questions, concerns, give us a call. Give us a call at area code 956-813-7737. Again, that number is 956-813-7737. And, you can give us a call, ask questions to the guest as well, because they're willing to answer questions from the public. So we, again, thank you again very much for your support. And it's getting better, bigger and better as we go along. TJ?
Yeah, speaking of, so the first week, again, we had under just about 400 views. I think right now, I don't know, we made the 1,900 for last week. And so hopefully we'll keep on growing. Thank you all for maybe not catching it that day or that time alive, but still going in there later on and checking it out. So we really appreciate that. Without further ado, before we get started, let me go ahead and start mentioning some of these sponsors that are going to be helping make this program grow. We got Mariachi Mezcal de Texas. I'm part of that group, so we're not the best. We're the second best, but that's what we like to say, right? Because when you talk a lot of shit about being the best, they expect a different level, right? So, but anyway, Silverio Martinez, attorney at law. Again, if you have any issues with the law, Silverio is available to take your call and try to help you guys out. Waterway Protection Services. Again, if you need security work or private investigation services, give us a call. Wizard Wicks Pizza, Eric, we're still waiting. You played with our emotions only the first week, and you haven't brought a single slice of pizza. You said you're going to provide us every day with pizza, and you lied to us. You're like every other man we know, liar. And then the Mariachi Mix Outfitters and more. Again, for all your Mexican artisanal stuff, which reminds me. So last week, Lily Flores, I believe, is the one that won the. So this week we have a little apron here. And since we have Joe Ojeda coming in, we have it in honor of Selena. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's a little drawing of Selena. So it says La Cantante. Of course, she'll always be the queen to all of us, right? But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Whispers Bar and Lounge, again, it's the biggest small little secret in Texas. It's an awesome little bar. Tejano Express Radio, of course, with Southman here. That he's got his own little radio station online. And Classic Cats. So the Classic Cats is a group of a bunch of old farts. We're playing a bunch of old music. We were at Wizard Weeks last Friday, and we're going to be there again on the 19th. It's going to have a little festival out there the whole day. We're going to be playing. I don't know what time yet, but we'll let you know. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about these sponsors as we go on. But, all right, one thing I want to get started talking about, guys, is I don't know if you guys are aware, there was an autistic kid, 17-year-old, that was shot by police up in Idaho. What's the Pocatello? Pocatello, Idaho. Pocatello. I'm reading it in Spanish. Pocatello. And so you see the officers get there. There's this kid, 17-year-old, I think he's nonverbal, autistic. And he's I think he looks like he's sitting down, but he gets up and starts going towards the cops with a knife. Cops are trained, after being a cop myself, we're trained that, 18 feet is a dead zone, 18 feet. So you don't want anybody closer to you with a knife coming at you, be within 18 feet. Actually, I take it back, 21 feet. Okay. This kid gets up, there's a cyclone fence, and he comes rushing towards the officers for whatever reason. We don't know what's going on in his head. Of course, what are the officers going to do? They went ahead and gave him 9 rounds into his body. Okay. And actually, I bet you there were a lot more than the shots than that, but you get nervous and you probably miss, but 9 rounds hit, and he goes down, and I believe he ends up dying. So, of course, the outrage. Freaking cops, they should have waited, they knew, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm going to tell you this. Just like you people expect cops to have a certain level of training and professionalism and reaction and stuff, we want to set the bar higher for cops. I get that. I understand that. But also, let's be responsible and be better, not only educated, but understand what happens to your body. Because remember, we're human beings. So what happens when you're faced with life and death? 2 things are going to happen. You're going to have what's called tunnel vision. It's a defense mechanism. All right? And all you're going to see that knife. It might be an 8-inch knife. It's going to look like a sword. That's how big it's going to look. Okay? That's 1. 2, auditory exclusion. Again, defense mechanism. Supposedly the mom, and I think you can hear the mom screaming, he's autistic, whatever, don't shoot, whatever. The cops can't hear that. They're trying to survive. They cannot hear that. So you people out there criticizing, because there was a lot of criticism on this, go online. Just put Pocatello, right? Pocatello, Idaho shooting of a kid, and you'll read it. And there's a lot of videos out there, people talking shit about the cops. If I were you, shut up and get educated and understand what's going on. I guarantee you That those cops that showed up that day to work were not with the intention of killing anybody. In 30 years that I served, I had one shooting. That guy died because of me, but because he was trying to kill a kid. That's a different story. I didn't wake up that day saying, I want to kill somebody today. No cop does that. No cop does that. Not that it hasn't happened, because once in a while you get some psycho out there. But the majority of cops, 99.9% of cops do not wake up that morning thinking, I want to kill somebody. So for people to be critical and talking this shit without knowing, that's not fair. That is not fair. If you think you can do a better job, go become a cop and understand what it is to be a police officer. So I'm not saying that there's no bad shoots out there. Of course there's bad shoots. And I'll gladly point them out when I see one. But you should be careful when you talk. And another thing, shame on the media for making this, sensationalizing and making it worse than what it has to be. The media, and we're going to have a very respected media icon of Laredo talk to us in a little bit. And I would love to get his opinion on how that works. And I get it. It's important to sell, back in the day, sell newspapers, right? But whatever it is to sell now, I get that. But you also have to be fair and balanced. And it's tough. It's tough for them to report what's going on with a lot of integrity and a lot of respect for what's going on. That kid, with autism, for whatever reason that he decided to do that, with the cops, or why? Let's talk about how an autistic kid like that got a knife. Let's talk about that, But again, the issue is not that. We know what the problems were, but how are we going to prevent this in the future? Because I guarantee you, every single cop that shot on Saturday, I believe last Saturday, or last Wednesday, whenever it was, is right now dealing with a lot of shit. Not only psychologically, emotionally, they're worried about their careers. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Unfortunately, that boy's life is ended. But the change and the stress for these cops just started. And for now, forever, they're going to be known as the cops that shot that kid, So it's not easy, guys. And yeah, I'm going to hear this one too, just like in the military. Well, nobody told you to, nobody's forcing you to be there. I know that. But there's something in our hearts that puts us in that position. Yep. And the calling's not for everybody. There's like somebody in the media, that's not for me. But for Mr. Rodriguez, it's been for him for many years. And I commend him for that. That's why I asked him to come here, because I want to celebrate and make sure that Laredo understands the quality of people that we have in Laredo. That's why I want to talk to him about his history and what he's done, because it's important. It really is. And it's not about awards and any of that bullshit. No, those are nice. I call them the wall of insecurity, right? When you put them in the back wall and you're having a bad day and you look and, oh, look, I'm worth something. No, that has nothing to do with that. It's when people honor you in life. That's the important thing. Don't talk to me how great I was when I die. Who gives a shit? Tell me how great I am now. Tell me about what I'm doing right now, and also call me out on when I'm making a mistake. Yep. But if I'm not making a mistake and you know that we're doing good, then there's nothing wrong. But that's another thing in our culture. We don't support each other. Nope. We are the worst. We are our own worst enemies. You cannot see anybody moving up. Pinche vato, here comes the damn envy and try to trip somebody up, make up rumors, false accusations, whatever. We are our own worst enemies. And I'm going to say this. That's part of the reason porque en Mexico no hay progreso. We don't support each other. Right now we're going to honor Mr. Rodriguez. We'll probably get a backlash somewhere. Well, why him? Dude, just appreciate what we have. He's still alive. I don't want to say Mr. Rodriguez was badass after he's dead. I don't care about that. I want to tell him today. And I've known him for a very long time. I became a cop in 91. And I remember he's interviewed me many times throughout my career. So I've known him for a long time. So anyway, going back to the shooting, guys, all I ask, if you're going to say something, if you're going to write something, get educated, be mature about it, get all the sides. Yeah, have an open mind. And look, there's always three truths to every story. Right. Your truth, my truth, and the truth. Right. So let's make sure we bring those together. That's how you're gonna find out. In this case, in fact, there's a lot of videos on Facebook on the shooting, and it looks ugly. It's horrible. It really is. It's a 17-year-old kid that probably, he had no idea what was going on. But again, why is he with a knife? Why is he attacking the cops? Yep. What is going on here? What put him there? Yeah, what put him in that position? Exactly. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up. I'll get off my rant. So right now, I want to welcome Mr. Juan Rodriguez. So thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I know you're a very busy guy. You have your own. He's got his own online news. Is it a
news website.
News website. There you go, the website. And he does a lot of reporting. And like I said, what I wanted him to talk about, if you don't mind, is your history. You know, where you started, when you started, and how you got here. That's one part. And eventually, I want to get your opinion on the challenges of reporting the news now, with all the fake news out there, with all the
Politicizing.
politicizing, and maybe only reporting stuff that benefits the organization and not for the benefit of the people, whatever.
Force
But
you.
let's talk about your history. You know, when you started, how long you been doing it. That kind of stuff.
Bienvenido.
Hey, thank you guys for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here with this news outlet, because our community needs a lot of information, any kind of information. You're talking about the cleaning up Idaho. Well, yeah, with an autistic kid, that's a newsworthy item. The thing is going to be mediatic. You're going to be exaggerating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
On the item, the issue. Well, that's hurts. I mean, it happens, but shouldn't. Because the news are the news. With the people, the community deserves, has the rights to be informed.
Exactly.
One way or another. Now we have thousands of social media outlets, newspapers, TV stations. It's a crowd. People informing, you know, behind a microphone, even a cell phone. But, you know, the media is very clear. The right to inform has been there for years, thousands of years. So now we have new experience with, we have new toys
Yeah,
to inform.
yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no way to stop them. There's no way to regulate them. There's no way to make it better. But the people knows what kind of news they want.
I think we're getting better, Juan, as a people to recognize what's real and what's crap. It's like AI right now.
Exactly.
AI is a big thing, and you see these videos and stuff, and you don't know that that's all the crap. That, you know, all the time they say, you know, Luis Miguel died, you know, rest in peace. Everybody freaks out, right? Everybody freaks out. Or that Elvis Presley alive somewhere. You know, everybody wants to go and see. I mean, now you got to be pretty weak-minded and pretty uneducated to not understand that those things they're fake news and
People are smart.
Yeah, well, I
We
think
don't
we're
want to
smarter.
be that crap.
Right.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, and it's weird, but we even had that when we were kids. There was no listening.
they shouldn't,
Yeah.
because
That's right. The Inquirer. Yeah.
yeah, they're making sick their mind.
Yes.
Reading that
yes.
kind of stuff.
So
It's like pornography
Yeah.
and some other thing else.
Yeah, yeah.
How
Yeah.
to make a bomb in home. Right. That's the thing.
and it's scary because people with mental issues that may come across some of these things and misuse it, you know, for to hurt people, to do wrong, because of somebody putting, you know, false stuff out. Or like you said, you know, making you can get online right now and you know how to make a bomb.
bomb in
Yeah,
an hour.
yeah, but yeah, get ready for the FBI to come visit you soon if you do that. But yeah, if you really wanted to be, you know, do it, you can do it. Who's gonna stop you? You know, right now where I'm on the internet, I can research, I can search up whatever, and do something dumb, you know. But tell me real quick, when you started, what year, where you started, all that good stuff.
I can't remember. Well, I want to start from the ending.
Okay, you want to bring okay.
I've been in the news field, in the media, and like over 46 years.
Wow.
I started in 1979 back in Nuevo, where I was born and raised. Till 94, I was jumping from one newspaper to another one, daddy, you name it. And I just I made crossover, and then I just got here in 1994 and started working on Univision 27. Worked there for 15 years, and then Telemundo, now a couple of years, and now since 8 years ago, I become independent.
Yes.
Independent media. When almost the social media started.
Yeah.
So that has been my passion. I've been working my life on it, and I'm trying to inform the people, the community, as good as I can, and trying to make the things right, because I know who's behind, reading, watching, and I want them to inform the cleanest way
Yeah,
possible.
that's possible. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to report stuff. I mean,
Nowadays, yes.
I can imagine the challenges and what you've seen from when you started to now. I think, you know what, it was a simpler time. And one thing that I always say is, nunca pasa nada. La luego nunca pasa nada, right? Because the main news, the news that everybody was used to, the news station that people were used to seeing, now, thank God, there's other ones, they only report, they had their agendas, and they only reported certain things. You know, me being a cop, I knew there was a lot of shit going on already. There's a lot of stuff going on. And it's getting worse. Not because now you have crimes because of social media, right? Now you have, crimes having to do with threats, bullying online, sharing personal pictures. That's another big one, So there's a lot of stuff going on. Recording people without their consent. I mean, there's so many new crimes because of the technology. But so now, people like you that have a chance to open up your own social, web-based
website.
website, that's awesome. Because you bring the experience. It's not just anybody doing it. I mean, but that's why I think it's special because how many people can say, I work at Munición, I work here, I work there, and I got my own thing. It's very different. It's very different. So that's why I think it's crucial that people know that there's real journalists, not just somebody with a phone going around Laredo and saying, this happened. Yeah, but how do they know how to put a story?
Any fact.
Right. I mean, it's a skill to put a story together. Yes, there's a skill to it. It's not just say, talk about it. You got to know how to put it together. Right. Yeah, it's still a craft. So real quick, what have you seen? What are some of the new challenges of today that you didn't have like then?
Accomplish?
Yeah.
Well, there's none. I mean, they throw a lot of things, some of them nasty, but yeah, I've been, trying to get all my accomplishments as soon as I can, and I've been through, like I said, through a lot of things, interesting, all of them, and make me, those things make me, think about a lot of things around me in my personal life.
Right.
So I apply what I see, what I learn every single day of my life.
So from when you started, 46 is what you said?
46
46.
and counting.
So, and I said before I want you to do it. Reportando Juan Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Because that's how I knew. That was your signature. Every time you said it, I was like, oh, that's fun. Yeah.
You know, the people on the street, they just stop me and say, hey, can you say it again, say it again? And they're, no, I just forgot it. No, come on. They pay me.
Yeah, yeah, because it was catchy. I didn't care what the story was about. I didn't give a shit. But as long as you said that, I was like, yes, he said it.
Yeah, it's him.
So before you leave, please make sure you give us that. But no, what I wanted to ask is, from when you started to now, what have you found is the hardest thing to adapt to from back then? Because the stories are stories. Rapes, family violence, murders. That's
I
the
think those
thing.
days were harder.
To get information.
Yeah, because now you can go to Google.
Got it.
You can find out everything you want to know. Everything.
And maybe some
In
things you don't
English,
want
in
to know.
Spanish, in French, or
Yeah.
whichever language.
Okay.
So that's a big tool. I mean, a real good tool.
Yeah.
Because in those days, we had to go to the old newspapers. What do you call them?
The archives.
The archives. It's okay.
I have
For those
to go
of you
to
who don't know,
the-
we have a studio audience. So.
Prontuario. That's what, I don't know how to translate it. Prontuario.
Okay.
Back to the old papers.
Yeah.
And then check.
Híjole, one by one. Wow.
Month by month.
Yeah.
If you recall that time that that they were in April.
Yeah.
Try to find
Yeah, I can imagine.
And that's now you have a
One button. Yeah, you got it.
you
Right.
got everything. You want to translate like me? I used to translate English to Spanish. There's a lot of words that I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's a good, very useful tool for me
Yeah.
and for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it was harder, and now you just can write 2-3 things to the point, and that's it. You don't have to write a whole page.
The way it used to be. Yeah.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it was harder back in that time. Now everything is easier.
It's
So
like
that's good
it's
because I
like-
can make like 5, 6,
Go to
7
the
stories
library.
Yeah.
one day.
The microfilm.
Remember that? What you're saying is, I remember.
I'm talking about writing for a newspaper.
Yeah, for the newspaper. Yeah. Not what you're doing right now. Yeah.
Social media is easier.
Yeah, super fast. Yeah.
Yes.
So back in the day, when in high school, I remember research paper. That means open up all these encyclopedias, right?
I was just gonna say.
And plagiarize
who
the
remembers
shit
the
out of
word
everything.
encyclopedia?
You would plagiarize the shit out of everything because it was written by white people. I mean, so here I am, Luis Tinajero, and you sounded out badass, but but it took forever to
And
do.
then 2 kids in the class at the same.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we
verbally
all had the same
everything's-
because we were so stupid that we could copy it off each other. And of course, the teachers didn't give a shit. They just, because they were drunk or high while they were teaching. Yeah, it's a different standard, right? Back in the day. But so I can imagine. Like, okay, so I always say, look, there's no more excuse for stupidity,
Yep.
right? Guys, we have, Joe just showed up, and I'll introduce him in a while. You want to know who Joe Ojeda is? All you gotta do is put his name, and it's gonna show up. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's there. It is. And no matter what, you put my name on there, it's gonna come out. A lot of shit that I've done well and
I
wrong,
know
whatever.
that. I know.
So there's no more excuse for you not to know basic things. That's one type of person I don't like. Second type of person I don't like is ugly people. Fuck. No, but that's a different story.
So I can stay?
Yeah, you can say. No, but I'm serious, guys. Look, when I was with PD, I would stop, immigrants, mojaditos, whatever, coming in. They didn't have a car, they didn't have a job, but they had a badass fucking iPhone. They had a badass fucking iPhone. And I'm like, Jesus, your phone's better than mine. How'd you do that? So anyway, my point in saying that is that there's no excuse for not knowing stuff, basic things. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking you to be a brain surgeon. We're just asking you to know basic things.
Like the 4 W's.
What, when, where, and why? Is that or which one is?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Okay.
At the 4
I don't know. I thought it meant 4 Whataburgers.
Whataburgers in town. There's like 7 of them.
There's more than that. Okay, so go back in time, Juanillo, and tell me a little bit about what's the most. And I know you have some of the most interesting cases that you've worked. If I tell you, give me one, what comes to mind? Whether it's tragic.
That's a lot. I can't recall.
I know that, but just put everything aside and what comes to mind?
I think there was a bad, real serious crash on the 35, like 15 miles from here in Webb County. There was a crash between 2 big trucks. One of them was transporting illegal immigrants. It was a mess,
Yes.
really. I saw the bodies, spread
Everywhere.
all around the highway. It was hard because I didn't know what to do at the time.
Yeah.
Really. And the worst part, my photographer, he lost the lens.
Oh.
And the way over there with the Harry, we were in a hurry. We went over there speeding up, and then he lost the lens. I don't know what he did. He got the pictures. He got the video perfect. I don't know how he did it.
Oh.
By that time, they were, picking up the bodies, all the debris, and everything was a sad picture
Oh, yeah.
of that. And I didn't. When I got there, I didn't know what to do. Really, help the people. Start rolling.
Yeah.
Video.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah, I think I did both things at the same time. But I can't recall it right.
I can tell it still bothers you
Yep.
because you're getting emotional.
Yep.
And
Yes.
that's awesome. Because look, that's another thing people forget. You're there to do a job, which is report the story. But you cannot,
But
you're
it was
living
very
it.
impressive.
Yes. Of course. And that's good because tears,
Well, you can-
tears.
all the emotion at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's hard because you're trying to do a job, but at the same time, you're a human being. So again, people need to understand that you're there to do a job, but you're not a robot. You're not a robot. You're a human being. And look, when did that happen? 30 years ago? 25 years ago?
20
some?
years.
And you're still talking about it
Yeah,
like it
I
just
got a
happened
year.
yesterday.
Like
yeah?
it was last week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and that's part of the stress. Like I said before, I said it last week. You're looking at 3 combat vets here from Afghanistan, Iraq, and we carry stuff with us. Certain noises. We react to certain things, and there's things that we kind of put away, and put them in the back of our minds because they're not good anymore. It happened. Same thing with law enforcement. We see a lot of stuff. But in your case, you're just saying, I guarantee you probably have PTSD. You probably do. I guarantee you.
I don't know how that feels, but maybe. Why
No,
not?
no. What I'm saying is,
The
the
PTSD.
memories, they bring back feelings. It's a traumatic event. I guarantee you,
It takes
you
you
have
back
it.
to that.
Yeah, I guarantee you. With
Well,
me,
I got some kind of relief. I mean, because I used to see that, but not that intense.
not like that. Yeah.
Because I can remember across. Because at that time, 25 years ago, we used to go and cover the news over there.
Okay.
That is true.
There was a lot of drug issues, and
Wait,
remember that.
drugs in Mexico? No.
No.
No. Say it isn't so.
No, we bring the news.
Yeah, just no more. And that time there was a cueteria where they sell the cuetes.
Fireworks, yeah.
They were accumulating a lot of gunpowder.
Oh, okay.
There were a big explosion. You remember that? There was people dismembered
Oh shit.
all around.
It was at
You can-
Yep.
No, that's no.
That was a
like-
separate warehouse.
Yeah,
Another-
it was,
another
it
lo-
was,
it was another
cueteria
location.
in
yeah.
a neighborhood back in the at the,
Were they inside a neighborhood?
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a, like an
They used to do
urban
that. I
suburban-
mean, Mexico, there's a lot of places that can sell cohetes and all that.
Again, no.
No.
And they don't. They,
Wait, they're not regulated?
no, not at all.
They don't
not
have
at
their
all.
seal in the back.
Yeah, they do that for living.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
of
a
course.
business.
It's a business.
Legal, I
It's
mean.
a business. Yeah.
And there was, dismembered parts of the bodies and all around. Fingers, you can see fingers, leg.
Oh wow.
You name
Well,
it.
that's what I'm saying. You got to see stuff that we saw, and it wasn't a combat zone. It was a regular city.
Yep.
So that's what I'm telling you. You probably have PTSD. You really do.
Because for us, even for us, coming home after months or years after from the wars, we still need that like time to decompress. But you would go from the
Yeah.
scene of the event
to the next day, like nothing.
to your house.
Yeah.
To your house.
Yeah, but
You would go home.
I have to.
So, and there
That's
was no
why he
mental
meant-
health for you. There was no pobrecito needs to go talk to a
not
shrink.
even,
No, this was your pobrecito, right? Get through the day and let's move. Next day, we gotta make, what news is gonna happen today, right?
Give me a
So-
sip then.
No, espérate.
I need help now. I need help now.
Let's get through the interview, Juan. Si no, al rato,
We're
bájate
gonna
la-
go to a commercial. Quick commercial now.
Juan, put your pants back on, Juan.
You know what? I want to ask Mr. Rodriguez because one story when I was a kid, and no, it's not La Llorona and all that stuff. No, but
That's Mag's wife.
No,
we'll
no.
talk
There
about
was
that.
when I was a kid, one story that impacted me a lot and kind of catapulted me to what I do now. I like big vehicles and stuff like that. Do you recall, Mr. Rodriguez, that time where an 18-wheeler fell off the bridge?
Yes, with the eggs.
With the eggs, right?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a-
yeah.
What
the
happened
rich
with
one.
that? And
Well,
then
the driver got killed. I mean,
well, see, that's what I wanted to ask
Wait,
you.
wait, you mean he had eggs in his face?
yeah, they were hanging.
Everywhere, brother.
Thank you. The ones that got it in the audience.
So get this. It was a Big Tech Sun. Remember the Big Tech Sun, which is the orange juice or pineapple juice? Yeah. But it was full of eggs. It wasn't even refrigerated. It was just like a dry van going into Mexico, and it just went off the bridge, the old bridge number
Eh,
one,
yeah.
the international bridge.
It was hanging.
It was
I
hanging.
remember, and I always wondered as a kid, like, well, what happened?
Well, the eggs got crushed.
Well, yeah. There was omelets everywhere. I got that. But like,
No,
was,
the
like,
driver-
the driver, he just like veered over. Like, what? Did he fall asleep? Heart attack?
But nobody
or
knew.
whatever?
No, nobody really knew.
No,
Well, he never did it again, though.
No, he don't.
So-
No, que huevos, eh? Que huevos. Okay, stop.
But it was like it was embedded in me just for the
I don't know what
longest
happened.
time.
Really, it was like 30 years
Oh,
ago.
but I thought you covered the news, bro. Like,
yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
circulating some
Yeah,
pictures of that. Actually.
Pretty sure.
Somewhere there.
so
Wow.
with that said,
I covered that actually, but
Yeah,
man,
it's been a while.
you know.
It's been a while.
so with
Yeah.
that said, let me ask you something, Mr. Rodriguez. How do you feel, or how do you cope or deal with when you're covering a story, or you know about a story, and this is the truth, right? This is what happened, and then somebody else comes in with wishy-washy information. No, hombre, que the guy or the girl did this, and this is different. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, when you know the truth of the story, you put it out, or whether you don't, or I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, what I used to do now, not right now, but what I used to do, make an editorial.
Oh,
Because
gotcha.
this is the news. This
Yeah.
is what happened.
Yep.
And why happened. But the thing back in this, the story,
Right.
back at the news, is another one.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to expose it but me. They said the truth on this happened because this fails, or this was going on at that time. Let's make an editorial. What is an editorial? Is what you think.
Yep. Yep.
It's also
It's
news.
your opinion.
But
Okay.
that's you,
Yeah.
not the simple.
And to piggyback on that question, I mean, when or how often would you like, oh man, like I know what happened, but
You
do, I,
don't.
do I put it out or not?
Yeah, it make you
Because
think
you
twice.
know what, if I put it out, I'm gonna get my friend TJ
In
in
trouble.
trouble.
Right.
Oh, I'm
No,
gonna get
well,
Southman
okay.
in trouble. Like, did that ever happen to you?
Of course,
or-
shit.
Yeah,
I bet you you're not in
I
too
don't
many
care
people's-
really. I don't care
Yeah.
if you know that. Tano Tijerina is gonna talk to me anymore, or
Right.
Right.
he doesn't let me go in the commissioner's court. I don't care really. I don't care.
Good.
Or Dr. Trevino, whoever.
Right.
Whoever, no.
Right. I just,
TJ, if you don't, he's not going.
I just thought it was,
anymore.
very not interesting, but I always wonder when a person gets put into that.
So the truth is first.
Absolutely. There you go. That's
Whatever.
what I wanted to hear, because that's what we're freedom fighters, and that's what we
Yeah,
like to hear.
that's
So
me too, I mean.
appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
So the Constitution gives us that right for a free press, correct? And we are very lucky in the United States that we get a chance to have that privilege, and for people like you to want and care about the news, because I can imagine how many friends you've lost throughout your life,
Lots,
right? Or
lots.
how many you've made because you said the truth.
Lots also.
Yeah, but so if you lost them, they were not your friends. They were. It's just this
don't
is
care, it's my
business.
job. It's like
Exactly.
you.
Yeah. No. I mean,
you were
I
a
have a
cop,
lot
I
of
mean-
people that don't like me, for a lot of reasons.
If you catch me driving, under the influence of whatever,
Right.
you're gonna put me free. You're gonna put me in jail.
No. Yeah. That's our job. That's what people pay us to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
So people.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. This is my job. Bro.
Right.
I don't care.
And he does it for the safety, and of course you're under the influence, but things happen. Things
Just
happen. And of
like
course,
the principles. Your principles are
Yeah.
my
Different,
principles on my field.
Yeah.
Feels good
And
to hear.
your integrity and your values and your
Yeah,
values,
exactly.
morals, and all that stuff.
With everything going on nowadays, it's good to hear that.
Yeah,
Right,
no, it is.
right.
because- So wow, I can know. So talk to me. What's your opinion on the new generation
The
of
new one,
reporters?
easier, confusing.
Yeah, confusing, right?
That's
yeah.
the first thing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
confuse people.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because again, look, everybody's competing for that article to put out the first
Yeah.
article of the first news, and the problem is that they'll throw it out, like kind of what Bojo was saying. They'll throw it out. It may not be 100% true, but they got it out first, and then they don't come back and clean it up. They leave it there for people to swallow and misinterpret and get all worried about. But it takes it takes a lot for a person to say, I made a mistake. This is once we research it better, but people are just dying to throw it, to do that.
But the people have to be aware. They don't fall, on misinformation, on the facts. They're not the real facts, the true facts.
Yeah.
So I know the people they can see the difference
Yeah.
between one social media and the other ones, and the regular news outlets.
And that's what I was saying.
Papers or TV.
That's what I was saying. That I think we as news takers are learning to be smarter about what's real, what's not.
What we accept.
What is believable. Because, like I said, when you have a lot of responsibility, you can affect a lot of people's life by throwing out misinformation. Right? Look at the campaigns. Accusing Russia and misinformation. Campaigns through Facebook, whatever. And I'm sure it's out there. I mean, I'm sure there's truth to that. But a lot of people fell for it. And people win and lose elections because of that. It's sad.
I know.
How many people get scammed every day?
Every day.
But you got to remember. Look, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. That's a good rule to live by. Not everything that shines is gold, right? So you got to be real careful with that. And I hope that people are understanding what we're saying with this. But like I said, Juan, you've been a staple of this community and Laredo for so long. Like I said, I guarantee you that every time you go somewhere, somebody stops you and wants to say something. I hope that they thank you for what you've done. And I wanted to honor you while you were alive. I don't want to go to your funeral and say Juan was this, and
He was the best.
yeah, he was the best ever, and reportando Juan Rodriguez ya está muerto, whatever. I don't want that. I want to tell you to your face that I do appreciate what you've done.
Thank you.
For so long, and you're still doing it.
Ditto.
Yeah, you look great. I mean, and as long as we have our health, right? That's all that matters. Honestly, that's all that matters, because once health starts going down, it's all downhill from there. Before we got here, you and I were talking about. I don't know if you want to talk about it. Your opinion on this bond issue that's really out there right now. I don't know if you have anything to say about that. It's a bit hot issue right now in Laredo.
It is.
I know it's hard, to community to accept this $417 million, the biggest amount on years in history. And that's why it's going to be hard to make the people vote. This is a big thing. You know, they're coming in lot of big things, and bad things, tariffs from Trump.
Yeah, the
It's going
tariffs.
to
Yeah.
affect it. Tariffs on Mexico. Not yet, but they're going to be
Oh, yeah.
sooner or later.
Yeah.
That's going to be affecting, you know, the goods from Mexico.
Yeah.
The goods are you know, are being making United States, and you know, the interchange of commerce.
Yeah, yeah.
That, you know, for years historically, they've been partners. They're going to affect. There's going to be a big affectation, and now locally, this month, the referendum. I don't think that it's going to pass.
You don't think so?
Today, the city of Laredo sent information about they want to go ahead with this voting item on the May the 3rd. So okay, I think we should vote in favor, because you know Laredo is getting behind.
Right.
So
And everything. You can simply go to McAllen. You can see the changes. Big investors coming in,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
big hospitals. I'm telling you because I have a broken foot. I have to go to McAllen. I can see the big hospitals over there.
You go to McAllen, you find all the big chains, all the commerce,
All the new stores.
and it's a border
the
town
new
too. So
brands.
what's
Yeah,
the
because,
problem?
you know, the Old Valley
Yeah.
are intercommunicated.
They had the last Kmart.
They did,
It
right?
just recently closed not too long ago.
Really?
They
Well,
did.
because-
If you want to go to San Antonio, let's don't.
Yeah.
We can talk about San Antonio because there's another world
Oh yeah.
Right.
at 140 miles from here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a shame. It's a shame that Laredo is being behind so many
It's
things.
getting missed. Yeah.
You can see South Laredo. How's South Laredo? There's not even a hospital over there, not even a movie theater, not even a good restaurant, a chain restaurant, nothing. There's a project, a Buena Vista project on 359 that is going to be a big whole lot of same hospitals, movie theaters, so many things. But how they're gonna a police station
Yep.
also.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like a city apart.
But
Say.
it's just so basic. I mean, when you go down to the valley, their mall is super thriving. Like just the mall
don't have the
itself. Every time I
infrastructure.
go, they've added a new wing to it.
But-
And then they have like a new store. And I recently, because I took my family, we visited. The new store that's there, it's from overseas, but it landed there. It could have gone anywhere else, and it landed there. And there, you don't see the vacant slots or stores that we see here, or all what my people
Just go to
call
downtown.
retail archaeology.
It's a ghost town.
But it's crazy. That mall is super thriving.
Bojo, you know what's so funny is that I don't know if you remember the mall back then. It was just your basic mall.
Yeah.
And then guess what? They tore down, I don't want to exaggerate, maybe half of it,
Yep.
and rebuilt it
Yep.
to a new modern
You're talking about the
McAllen.
Oh, McAllen.
McAllen
Oh
Mall.
yeah.
Yeah.
McAllen. Yeah.
So
And I know
we
it
still got the
serves.
same mall
And I know
since.
it serves several cities and surrounding
Of
cities.
course.
It's a bigger population, but there's so many other labels that I'm not going to throw out. As far as restaurants, they have their bookstores that
No, they have bookstores.
Everything. They have specialty
People in
stores.
McAllen read.
They have specialty stores. You want a microphone? There's like 5 specialty stores. For it.
Yeah,
And,
true.
And again, it's like Mr. Rodriguez says, and he's been the time traveler here throughout the conversation. And what happened?
And really, it just upsets me that, I mean, I consider Laredo mean, home, obviously, but we're way behind. We're way behind in time, really.
In everything. Laredo, I would say 20 years behind in
And
everything.
there's no hope.
Well, nope.
Hopefully,
No.
with this bond, but I doubt it, we can make something. Okay, in law enforcement, for example, they're gonna make a lot of things good, but not only law enforcement means the whole community.
Everybody needs to go.
Everybody, todos.
We need economic,
Right.
Yeah, growth.
exactly.
Right.
A lot of things to do.
And like I said last time,
Because, our leaders, they don't have no vision. There's no vision at all. They just go through the boats, and that's it.
that's what I said last time.
They,
When I
they,
said,
they finish their term, they go after another one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
So I say we don't need another park.
No.
Laredo's got like 3,000 parks in the same block. We don't need another park. That's the last thing we need. Another park. We don't need that. We need infrastructure. We need water pipes. We need
Everything.
streets. We need a lot of stuff.
Everything.
Entertainment. And we're
Especially.
going to speak to a professional entertainer in a
yeah.
little bit. But I mean, let me ask. The last time that I've never seen. When was the last time, Joe? Before we get to, when was the last time you performed in Laredo?
Man, the last time, well, actually, Jambuzi.
Jambuzi,
Okay.
right?
Before that.
Hace 2 semanas.
Before that.
Mande.
Before that.
Before that, in Laredo, was it Whispers?
Okay, but I'm saying.
You see that?
But what
You
I'm
see
saying
that?
is, it's
Nothing.
not when they tell you, "Hey, we're gonna start a tour, whatever." Laredo's not the first thing on your head,
no.
right? Unfortunately, and it should be, but it's not.
I love my Laredo, but I think it's a hard market when it comes to entertainment.
That's when it comes to everything.
And we'll talk about that
Yeah.
when you come back.
Actually, I'm glad you said that, but keep that in mind because, man, we're gonna have a conversation about
Yeah,
that
I don't
stuff.
see Laredo
You
in
said
a
it.
lot of concert T-shirts.
Pa' que llegue. Fíjate, after all you've done and your experiences, you still have to do that. Imagine me with this rinky drumstick trying to do something. Can you imagine? So, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna again. Don't lose that train of thought. But anyway, so
I want to
yeah.
go ahead and talk about here. We had a guest last week, Patty Vela.
Oh, Patty, yeah,
She's saying hi, and of course, she just wants to extend the thanks. She did reach out to two more families since last week.
Actually,
that's
she
great.
called and said that 2 families that saw the show were not aware of some stuff, and they asked her for support with their loved one that's going through cancer.
Right.
Wow.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is.
So
It is. So there you go.
It's working.
it's a rinky-dinky podcast,
working.
and we're starting to get it. We're trying to get it started, guys. This is week 4. Like I said, look at the setup. This is not what we want.
No.
So I'm very proud of Fred here because Fred grew up eating glue and chasing cars and leaking windows. And let me tell you what he's doing. No, it wasn't even Elmer's. It was that one from Nuevo Laredo.
We are not going to get into details.
It was the one from Nuevo Laredo that gave you like instant freaking cancer. But he's able now to put stuff on the screen for y'all to see who's talking.
There you go.
Oyeme, cálmate.
So
Oye.
I'm gonna go to NBC here after this.
See,
I'm
for-
surprised he still speaks with
the little yellow bus rider has become the driver. So no, I'm really proud of him. Fred's done a lot for this. Like I said, we're trying to get this. Come on, dude. I'm trying to get viewers. Our generation thinks it's funny, and the new one doesn't. So, Juan, going back to the bond, it's a very the problem with my personal. This is TJ talking, nobody else. We want the modern things. We want the nice things, but nobody wants to
put in the work.
put in the work. In this case, taxes. Nobody wants to pay more taxes.
They don't want not even hear about taxes.
Yeah. So, and most of the politicians out there run on that promise of no new taxes, and it's great because people want to hear that. But how are we going to get better stuff if we don't have the funding for it? We're not even talking about the misappropriation of funds. We're not even talking about that. We're just talking about how are we going to bring in more money? How are we going to get more money?
Because leaders has no vision on that. You can check their own city councilman and woman.
Don't record.
they don't think more like, trying to get the votes through the things they supposed to do every day. They don't think that, try to go and look and Google some investors, some people that it can be bringing some awesome things for Laredo.
Yeah.
And how they have a discretionary funds,
Right.
so they can use them.
Well,
If they can unite, everybody united, they can make a big fund and get, the things done on that issue, on that simple things that look, very hard to comply, to accomplish. I don't know, I mean.
It's tough because
It's another sense of power they have to have. And they don't try to, not even.
and not all of them, right? I mean, we're not gonna say if you're a politician, you don't know. No, of course not. We're not saying that. But the culture in Laredo, and everybody knows, and it was created back in the,
culture.
yeah, the culture here, the political culture in Laredo is like it's different. Again, I'm not gonna get too much into it because that's a whole other podcast. But the whole cañonero system, the whole I'm gonna give you a taco, please vote for me.
And then-
Ya va un tontito, oh, me dio un taco, here vote. Really. So that's why we keep on. The status quo stays the same for a lot of times. And I have friends that have run for office that are sitting in office right now that are not happy because they want to do things, but the culture doesn't allow them for whatever reason. And it's very frustrating. I ran for constable a couple of years ago.
I remember.
Remember that? And I didn't have the money to pay cañoneros. And so it didn't matter that I had two masters. It
You were
didn't
not-
matter that I served in combat. None of that mattered. What mattered was that I didn't buy tacos and donuts for people.
Y no
Okay.
voté por ti.
Yes, and you didn't even vote for me. 'Cause- that's the
Speaking
sad
of
part.
which, where's the pizza?
Speaking of pizza, Eric, if you're watching this show, we're gonna take that banner down, Eric. If you don't bring the pizza next time, fucking, who cares about pizza if it's in the oven? But anyway,
We
again,
have a
that's whole other
comment
show.
from one of the viewers, a couple of viewers, says that Laredo should bring back the family-oriented festivals,
Oriented
Waterfest,
festival, yeah.
stuff like that, friendly. Also, they're saying that, of course, downtown and the mall. They'd be talking about downtown as well, trying to tear it down, but no, we can't because of the story, blah, 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 this and that. Like, well, when are we going to see any improvement? Look at El Paso. Look at McAllen.
Thriving.
They're thriving with new buildings.
That was a big word, man.
I know. He
Yeah,
goes
driving. Spell it.
Spell
Spell it. D-R.
So, those are the couple
you
of
put it in a
comments that
sentence?
we're getting from from the viewers.
Awesome. And again, guys, look, we've yet to get a caller. Nobody's called in yet. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
It's
been on the banner. It's been on the screen. Call it.
There's a
It's your
phone
time,
number.
Laredo. This is your time to chime in.
956-813-7737.
Let's
Again,
hear your
956-813-7737.
Okay. So, Juan, again, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate, like I said, I know that you do 1,000 interviews, whether you're on that side of the mic or on this side. This is the first time in all the interviews that you've done with me as on this side. This is the first time that I get to ask you questions. So to me, it's an honor. It really is.
Thank you.
Like I
It's
said,
an
and
honor.
we're
It's an
trying to
honor.
bring in people that matter, people that make change. We're not
Thank you.
just inviting just anybody
I
out to
want to
these
ask
talks.
Mr. Rodriguez a question. What was your best interview? Or your best
Just
story
said
that
he
you
interviewed me several times.
No, that was a commercial.
Well, I remember. Well, I have an interview. This like Carlos Salinas de Gortari. I don't know if you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. He was president back in 1998. And it was an exclusive on the street. Now there were no arrangements to any event. Just
It just
talk.
just
Paso.
jumping.
Paso.
And well, it was interesting.
He studied in the United States, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he
at
came to
Harvard.
school here. At Harvard, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has so many studies,
Accolades.
and doctorate, and
Wow.
he's very smart.
Yeah.
For the
Notice how you.
for the bad.
Yeah.
All right. So
He just
So one of
didn't
them.
focus on us.
yeah.
No.
So before I'm not gonna let you go, Juan, until you say the
Where
signature.
where can we find Mr. Rodriguez, though?
Oh yeah, well, okay. So tell us real quick about your web.
Well, my news
yeah,
website
yes,
is
yeah.
jrnoticias.net.
Okay,
It's in the web, not in Facebook. It goes through to Facebook.
goes through Facebook, but it's on the web.
It's on the
actual
It's on the
website.
web.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
And I've been there for 8 years.
nice.
I have some sponsors, and it's a daily basis, 24/7 information. You can go through jrnoticias.net, and you can find whatever you need in information, talking about information, in locally, in the region, and you know.
That reminds me. So
Order.
I was gonna ask you this question. Back in the day, 90, because I became a cop in 91, and I remember you all used to have scanners. Remember that? It was an
Yes,
open.
yeah.
It was an open. So
They
sometimes.
were very useful for us.
Yeah, I know it was. Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah,
So
because-
yeah, because I remember getting there. It was a hot call, whatever, and you was already
He
there.
used to be there-
And he was
there
already telling me,
first.
man, lo que está pasando.
First.
I'm like, dude, get the hell out of the way.
I got excited.
The guy's got a gun.
I need
Get out of the way.
back- I need
Juan's like, no,
backup.
I got it already.
I need backup. Yeah, Juan's there already.
yeah, Juan.
No,
I
once
remember
I
that.
got cited by the fire department.
Oh.
Because, no, by police department. Because I went through the hoses, the fire hoses.
Oh yeah. You stepped over in the car.
I was driving
They were like this.
over.
Por ahí
Yeah, I
no.
was cited, and because I was before the
You were there
cops.
for yeah. I remember a lot of times they were.
And that time, they were, the firefighters were saving an old lady who was suffocating, but because of smoke.
Yeah, because
It was a dramatically video that I took. It worth it. I was fined for $200, but it worth it because the lady was crying, help me, I'm dying. You know, it's a good story.
good times. Not that she was dying, but that she was taken care of. Okay, so before we let you go, please get close to the mic. Come on, Juanito, you gotta do it. You gotta do it for us.
For
One
the record.
solid good time.
Just one time. And that's it.
Closer to the mic.
Okay, let me feel my boot. Come on.
Just one time.
I have
You
to
said it
have
a billion
I
times.
have
He has
to
to be
have camera
standing. He has to be
up front.
standing.
He wants the camera in front.
Well, the camera's right
I
there.
know, pretend the camera's right there.
Ándale, lejos.
Oh,
I can see it.
Oh, hang on. Let me do this.
That is, closer. Okay. Para
Noticias JR, ¿no? ¿Cómo se llama?
para Noticias Univisión 27 les informó Juan Rodríguez.
Awesome. Thank you, Juan. Please stick. Don't leave yet. Please stick around because we got another awesome guest. So please do not leave yet. Okay. Monday?
This next?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you all want to switch over real quick? So before we're getting the next guest, let me talk about the sponsors again, guys. Mariachi Mezcal de Texas. Like I said, we're number 2 mariachi. We're never gonna say number 1. Silverio Martinez, attorney at law. Waterway Protection Services, Western Wicks Pizza, and Mariachi Mix, Outfitters and more. Whispers Bar and Lounge, Tejano Express Radio, and Classic Cats. Those are the ones that we're gonna be talking about as far as sponsors go. So that was an awesome interview. I really appreciate the time that Juan took to be here. But guys, we have Tejano royalty in the house today, and I really appreciate the fact that Joe got a chance wanted to come in and talk to us. I know, Joe, you've done a lot of these in the past and much better setting. So thank you for coming to this very humble setting, and we hope that next time you come over, things are a lot better. That the setup is better and that everything is. But just having you in our presence, it really means a lot. And,
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, TJ, and thank you, Fred, South Bend, Medina. No, I actually like setting. You know, it kind of makes me feel relaxed. You know, like I'm at home. My room, my room is dirtier than.
No.
No. It's
No,
good.
but I know what you're saying.
It's good dirty, pero si vas a mi casa y no, rompa por donde quiera y chanclas y
Well, you know, we're men.
dos
We're men, right?
gatitos y
Well, that's where that was.
So how you been, Joe? What's been going on?
bien. I'm just back doing the things that I love to do is just play on stage, performing with my band, Joe Head the Band, featuring Lorena Gomez de
Lorena
Laredo,
Gomez from
Texas.
Laredo?
And yeah, we recorded a ya, Maldito Castigo y hemos andado promoviendo la rola y pues bueno, sí, y las tocadas es lo que le digo yo a todos mis amigos, a mis friends, fans, que el escenario para mí es mi playground, hijo. It's where it's where I just, like just block everybody else and just, be me for a change. And it's a good feeling when you see the fans singing your songs, cuando estábamos con Selena, ¿verdad? y los Dinos, donde quiera que íbamos, la gente se prendía, se conectaba con la música de nosotros y es una bendición de Dios. Y
It is.
porque la música es alimento, es medicina y si nos hace reír, a veces nos hace llorar y a veces nos encabronamos también. Pero no, son buenos recuerdos que tuve con Selena y los Dinos y ahorita pues doing my own thing with my band and I'm liking it. I'm fun.
Congratulations,
Thank
Joe.
you, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you guys.
it's been an awesome ride. I know besides the negative stuff, not all of us got a chance to be where you were, with that group, with her and that group. And I know that you were a big part of that sound, man. I know
Thank you.
there's a lot of stuff that you
Thank
don't
you,
get
guys.
credit for, but if we know your music, those of us that are musicians will recognize the style and the arrangements and this and that. Like
Yeah,
that's Joe.
without even getting recognized, you can hear. Joe's
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
So I
background
hope
and-
that you're getting the respect, And it's tough. The music business is horrible, man.
Yeah, the
It really is.
entertainment business.
It's horrible. Everybody's a singer. Everybody's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
go to Applebee's right now. They
Yeah.
have karaoke, and somebody thinks that they're singers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were there with Eric on Friday. We thought we were playing. I know we weren't, but we thought we were. So we all think we're players.
No, pero, I mean-
but to make it, to cross that line and make it to where people know you and respect what you do,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's-
That is a
You know what? It's hard work. It is, and it's a process to get to where you want to get. And it's la pasión. I mean, if you're doing something that you love to do, you just keep on doing it because vas a pasar por ese procedimiento donde te vas a acordar de los tiempos cuando tocabas por dos personas o X.
Yeah.
Y esos son los recuerdos que te alimentan, te hacen, they make you stronger, ¿verdad? Porque es algo que siempre dice uno, oh, mira, estoy tocando ahorita like for 50,000 people, pero sabes que I used to like when I was playing for 5 people también.
Right, right.
Porque es la pasión que tienes cuando te gusta hacerlo, el don que te da Dios, el talento que te da Dios, ¿verdad? Y manejarlo bien también. Y también, pues, sinceramente, la base principal son los fans, ¿verdad? Porque they're the ones that either like you, or make you, help you, along the way.
Yep.
And it's like y ustedes también, la radio personnel y todo eso, y la prensa y todo eso, es como un team, y muy agradecido de estar aquí con ustedes ahorita platicando, y gracias por la
I really
invitación.
appreciate you taking the time. I introduced Cindy Hernandez. She's also in the, I think she's kind of helping you out with some
Promoter.
stuff, right?
Cinderella Promotions.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I thank you again I called her and I'm like, hey, you think Joe's gonna wanna come talk to us? She's like,
Right.
let me call you back. And
But let's tell the story of what happened, what really happened. Si no, ahorita le hablo a
what are
JR.
you talking about?
The confusion of Joe's.
Oh yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking. Yeah. So in my mind, and actually, all of us.
All of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're like,
exactly.
so I'm seeing you, but I'm saying Posada. But I know who you are. But I'm saying Posada.
Yeah.
When I told her, she goes, "No, that's another Joe." I'm like, "Shit." I'm glad. Imagine now. Oh, we got Joe Posada. You're like, "Fuck you." I'm out.
Man, I should have showed up with my sax. That's it, guys.
So that's the sex guy.
Yeah.
You're the sexy guy.
Sexy guy.
It's different. Sex and sexy, different things.
No, thank you, guys.
But yeah, so yeah.
Stories we booked twice.
That's okay. That's another one. So he
Aye.
called her.
With you and
Yeah, without us knowing, and she's like, when she saw the flyer, she's like, "Hey, wait a minute, I think we booked twice." So that's a lesson for us to make sure we talk to each other.
So one in Spanish and one in English.
Pues, sabes, bro.
So yeah.
So, Joe, platícanos el empiezo, cuando empezaste de high school, porque no sé si es cierto or it's true what happened in the Selena movie or not, but please tell us.
Yeah, mi carrera musical empezó con mi compadre Pira Studio. Éramos un dueto
Yes.
de aquí en Laredo, Texas, y pues bien contentos los dos porque, él cantaba y yo tocaba, tenía como 3 teclados y una caja de ritmo y estoy hablando en aquellos tiempos, en 87, cuando, technology right now is moving so fast. Man, you can do a lot of things in the studio like in 20 minutes.
By yourself.
Y en aquellos tiempos, pues la tecnología no estaba muy avanzada como está ahorita, ¿verdad? Pero that was the fun part. That was the fun part porque, donde quiera que tocábamos, los bad boys
Los
de Laredo.
bad boys de
the bad boys
Laredo.
de Laredo. Sí nos daba la gente, sí como que la poquita gente que me estaba viendo, sí nos daban ese ánimo de seguir ese sueño, ¿verdad? De seguir con la música y luego se dio una oportunidad donde, gracias al pájaro, al locutor
Mr.
número
Bird.
2, porque estábamos tocando en un flea market, no sé si se acuerdan de Playmore.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Playmore,
Oh, yeah.
cerró Playmore off of I-35.
Yes.
Yes.
Y luego
I wasn't around back then.
Whatever.
Oh, saludos a Joe Rodríguez, pájaro. Saludos,
sí,
Joe.
saludos a Joe Rodríguez y gracias a él porque me and P were playing ahí it was a flea market after Playmore, I believe, y nosotros bien contentos, like, all right, we have a gig, yeah. Boom, flea market, boom. So ahí andaba el Bird, andaba ahí también él trabajando, ¿verdad? Y el Lobo se nos acercó y nos preguntó que, oye, ¿qué onda? Nos empezó a decir que, oye, suenan bien para 2, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo le están haciendo y todo? Y bueno, total, nos dio una oportunidad porque conocía al dueño de Roxy's.
Okay.
¿Se acuerdan
Okay,
de
yeah.
Roxy's antes de la Copa Palenque?
Another name. Wow. We're really going back to that.
I remember those days.
So nos consiguió en una tocada ahí en Roxy. So me and Pete went and auditioned for the owner, and the owner liked the way we. At first, he was very. I'm gonna say negative. I don't like that word, but he was very negative porque pues son dos. Digo, pues qué onda.
He
Digo,
wanted a whole
un
group,
grupo
yeah.
para que se viera así como banda, sonido más fuerte, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Pero cuando nos escuchó, he was like, wow, you guys sound good. So he hired us to play on a Tuesday. So no, hombre, we thought we were rock stars already. Like, oh, God. Andamos en una band.
No more pulgas.
No more pulgas. Yeah, we
The Roxys.
crossed to the other side already. No, y we played on a Tuesday and pues bien contentos nosotros. We're calling like los primos, los van más que vayan todos para que se vea lleno y sí, netas. Y fíjate que sí, we had a good crowd and then after that show. No me acuerdo cómo se llamaba el dueño, pero I'm going to call him dueño como quiera. Okay. After the show, he hired us again to play on another Tuesday because he was doing the Tejano nights on Tuesday. Okay. Oh, okay. And nos dice, yeah, I'm gonna bring Selena in. And I didn't know who Selena was. Cuando creces en la frontera, you know who Yuri is, Luis Miguel, you listen to mariachi, rock y todas las cumbias, Pegaso y Renacimiento. Y yo creo que eso sí te ayuda. Si eres de la frontera, sí, 956, go right. Sí te ayuda porque agarras ideas musicales de todos los géneros.
All those styles. Yeah.
Sí, y pues bueno, so I was like, who's Selena y todo, and we didn't have internet, like, let me Google it, like,
right.
Oh, wow, I was like, okay, está bueno, cool. So, se llegó la noche, we opened up for them, and I remember when we were playing, el Roxy's tenía como una oficinita upstairs, yo creo, ¿verdad? Y tenía una ventana. Y me acuerdo cuando estábamos tocando Pedro y yo, ¿verdad? Y Pedro acá con el...
Sí, con el-
No, todavía así, ajá.
Suá, suá, suá.
Peínate, peínate, Pete. Y me acuerdo que, you know,
Put on there.
we started performing, and I don't know, I just kind of looked up, and I saw Amy, usted and Selena estaban viendo y estaban así. Y yo pues yo no sabía quién eran, ¿verdad? Ah, pues, a lo mejor son hijos del dueño,
dueño.
pero no se parecen. Porque, y lo digo con todo respeto porque Amy en aquellos tiempos parecía chinillo. Y sí, se me quedó así plantada esa imagen de ellos viéndonos, porque la ventanilla estaba right enfrente del escenario donde estábamos, el escenario chiquito.
Right.
No era escenario, era donde la gente se podía subir a bailar. Sí, y luego estaba el escenario atrás donde tocó Selena, ¿verdad? Y me les quedé viendo, se quedaron viendo, y me acuerdo que Selena nos dio un thumbs up. So that was like, okay, cool. We got 3 more fans.
Too bad we don't know who they are. but, yeah.
Exacto, like, you know, like, okay, no, that's not my ex-girlfriend. No. Y luego, pues, you know, se nos terminó el set y nos bajamos del escenario y todo, y luego se subió ella y I was flat. I was very impressed, I was very impressed the way she was singing and dancing, and I told Pete, man, they're good. So, después de la tocada, cuando ellos se terminó la noche, pues estábamos nosotros con el sonido subiéndolo we were using, Pete's brother had a restaurant next to Crystal Palace.
Right.
Y andamos en una de sus vans.
Llena de pan y
Sí,
mugrero todo.
pan ajá, trastes.
Pan arriba de la lámpara.
Sí, y él, pues, él nos ayudó también, porque él lo que hacía paquetes.
Right.
Tenía un catering service y el paquete más alto era live music, you know, like, y luego gracias también a la familia Studio, ¿verdad?
Studio.
Y pues el paquete también nos promovían, ¿verdad? Y sí nos salían tocadas, gracias a Dios. So anyway, back to Roxy's, se llegó la noche, we were like loading we had PVs, I don't know if you remember that.
PVs,
Sí, estaban bien pesadas las bocinas, los power hands,
Oh, yeah.
chiletas. So me acuerdo que se arrimó Abraham y Avi. Y luego, you guys sound good, man. Who's your, y'all have a manager? Manager.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Like a HB.
That's me, no, or you know us. So we are like, no, we don't have a manager. We're just playing because we love music.
We're
love to play.
freelancing, we're freelancing.
Yeah, freelancing. Yes. Después hablamos. So right there and then nos ofreció jale, nos ocupó como que si you want to guys go on the road as an opening act. You know, like
Right then and there.
right there, and Pete, let me think about it. Espérate, yeah. Pete, Pete playing a hardball. Let me think about it. I'm like, I got excited, like, yeah. Y luego, pues, we exchanged numbers, ¿verdad? Y nos dice que le habláramos el siguiente día, eso le hablamos en la tarde, ¿verdad? No, no va a cambiar de opinión y... and back to la pulga. So, no, le hablamos y nos dijo dónde quería que nos presentáramos. Y era en Rapstown, la primera. We did 7 gigs as an opening act for Selena Los Dinos. Okay. And I remember the first one was in Rapstown, because when we were driving to Robstown, we got pulled over and I was driving and I had a warrant for my arrest. Oh. Yeah, speeding tickets. So me encerraron. No en Robstown, el agua dulce. Chinetas, ahora qué suerte tengo y el chinetas. So we actually called Abraham. Y pues Abraham pues, conocía gente ahí en la área, ¿verdad? Y pues nos dieron una chance, nos dejaron ir, nos dejaron ir y luego cuando llegamos a Rapstown pues nos regañó Abraham. Sí, qué bonito, mira cómo están empezando ya ustedes. So, está bueno, digo, se llegó la noche y we opened up for Selena, and when we were doing a sound check, man, qué suerte tengo yo, I blew up their horns.
Oh.
Gee, nothing was going right for us, you know, that night, that day. So,
Don't let him touch the mic.
Yeah, don't get too close to the mic.
Okay, no, no, no.
No, we don't have a budget here. Necesitabas una sobada de huevos de la troca que se cayó.
Sí, so I blew his, I think they were called tweeters, coins, no me acuerdo.
Yes.
Y pues lo bueno es que tenían un roadie, ¿verdad? Y de volada él, pum, no sé qué hizo, las hizo echar a andar. Y so, bien agüitado yo, ching, estas no nos van a pagar.
I'm gonna end up paying.
Está bueno, pero fíjate que esa noche, nomás no me acuerdo el nombre del lugar donde nos presentamos, pero esa noche nomás había como 15 personas y nosotros creyendo de que, y pues, digo, maybe no van a tocar. Y no, era al revés, no, vamos a darle, súbanse muchachos, toquen 45 minutes. Y luego bájense a la chingada, ¿no? Bájense a la chingada. Sí, sí, Pulga, back to Pulga. So we played our set. Y luego se subieron ellos. Y I remember before they got on stage, Selena telling like A.B., Ricky, and Suzette, hey, let's go out there and give them a good show. Yeah. So I was like, chineta, me da risa y me pongo emotional porque siempre nos decía eso a nosotros. Siempre.
Yep.
Si nomás hay 5 personas, 10 personas, ustedes suban al escenario y
give it
toquen
all you
con
got.
madre.
Yes.
You know, play like it was your last show.
Yep.
And
That's awesome.
that worked throughout the whole, toda mi trayectoria con Selena Lucinos, que parece que fueron casi 8 años. Y de ahí yo empecé a agarrar más, no sé, gracias a ella, lo tomaba más en serio.
Yeah.
Sí, no como que, all right, I'm gonna play.
It wasn't a hobby anymore.
I'm gonna, boom, mingle around. And, ay, las 10 personas lo más en rough stuff. No. So, fíjate, like, wow, like, y eso, when I heard her telling, the other guys that, it kind of inspired me.
Yes.
It motivated me, me dio esa lumbre para seguir con la música. ¿Ya? Y gracias a Dios y gracias a Selena y pues a Don Abraham que nos dio la oportunidad. So we did 7 gigs and the last gig was in West Texas, Midland, Texas.
Oh my God.
And I remember when we got there, we were like, like setting up ya usábamos el equipo de ellos. Sí,
You graduated to there.
Yeah, like that would be just las
No aprendieron when you fucked up their speakers, right?
Sí, digo, yo creo que, no sé, nos perdonó y nos dio otra chance, ¿verdad? Sí, netas. So, we got to Midland, Texas, and I was setting up my 10 keyboards. Sí, no puedes ni verme, la gente, no, es que él está tocando los teclados. Tenía esos, no sé si se acuerdan de los columpios, donde ponían los teclados.
Right.
Sí, tenía uno de esos y pues estaba todo en chaparro, ¿verdad? Y,
It's just a rhythm box back
yeah, yeah,
No se veía nada.
yes. So, we were setting up, I was setting up my gear y todo, y se arrima Don Abraham, muchachos, guys, I need to talk to you after the show. And, chinetas, I started getting like, that's it. We did our sound check, y luego me and P kind of like, nos despegamos de ellos. Y me and P were like, pues I think they're gonna let us go, man, ya, chineta. Y luego P, pues chingan, si no eras like blowing the horns de las bocinas de ellos.
Y tú tu pelo de mojo, de indio tizó.
Y tú penándote acá en vez de estar cantando, todo, chineta. Pues por eso nos vamos a dar bote.
Caímos mal.
Sí, bueno, pues está bien, fueron 7
I love you.
fueron 7 tocaditas y en esas 7 tocaditas como que sí nos juntábamos a veces, pues viajábamos en el bus.
Yeah.
Con,
Right.
dale. All right, no more Rogelio's catering band. So, and we got to know them. It was like family, era familia, porque no nomás era Selena y su hermana y su hermano, el papá era Abraham, el que era el manager, y su mamá Marcy, bien linda mujer. So we got to know the family. So it even kind of hurt more. It hurted more cuando we were thinking, that's it, they're gonna let us go, and it's gonna be a long ass ride back home.
All serious.
Sí, bien negative. Y desde ese momento ya yo digo yo, I'm never gonna
Sí,
be
no,
negative.
yeah.
So se acabó el show y todo, y me acuerdo que, estábamos en el venue, ellos estaban sentados, una mesa así casi, ¿verdad? Estaban todos sentados y el venue era un venue grande y estaban todas las luces prendidas. So nos habla Abraham, boys, tiene la voz que tiene, boys. Y luego vamos caminando para allá. No, hombre, ¿sabes qué? Si nos dicen bye bye, Lulu, pues, como que no nos.
Ahora sí, ahora
sí. Sí, que sí, ahora
No
sí.
me duele,
Ahora
no
sí,
me
no,
duele.
no duele. Tú dile, all right, you know, let's stand our ground. So, now we get there, and Abraham was not facing us. Selena, Marcy, and I still remember, and Suzanne and Ricky were facing us walking. And Abraham siempre andaba en friega, ¿verdad? So we're like getting to the table where we're sitting at, and Amy said, Dad, do you want to join the band? Chica le digo, hell yeah. Y luego Pete, let's think about it, man.
Pinche George Costanza, vato, just-
No, pero esos son los momentos que o sea, me alimentan, o sea, mentalmente me dan fuerza y son recuerdos que siempre los voy a llevar conmigo, ¿verdad? O sea, mentalmente y en el corazón. So, man, I was excited. Oh, man. Yes, and then, man, I thought y'all were gonna like fire us. Y empezamos todos risa, ¿verdad? Y I thought it
The
was gonna be-
speakers are coming out of your
Yes,
first
sí,
paycheck.
and I was telling Pete, was it because I blew their speakers? And then like, no, Pete, I think it's your hair, man. Te lo hubieras cortado, vato.
Hazle así más, hazle así más.
Sí, no, so, yo creo que todo lo que hicimos es en esas 7 tocadas.
And impress them, yeah. How
les
old are
gustó.
you at that time?
Yeah, un poquito, like 19, 18.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah
Let me give you a little history about Pete.
yes, sir.
Me and Pete used to go to high school. We graduated the same
really?
year. He
Football?
used to play. Pete Astudillo. Saludos, Pete. Saludos a toda la familia
Claro,
Astudillo.
claro.
He played football. I don't
Yeah,
know if you knew
I
that.
know, he would tell
Okay,
me
yeah.
con Rini y con sus otros.
Yes, sir.
And I think they went, I don't know, they didn't win state or anything, but
No,
they
but
got
we-
to the playoffs,
they
right?
went to the playoffs that year.
Yeah,
That we graduated.
He would always tell us, like, I was a football player.
Yeah, exactly.
Y luego nomás, y luego nomás iba de la bola. No, hombre, está bien chaparrito. No, espérate,
You know,
no.
Pete, we love you. We're gonna have you. We're just talking shit, Pete. That's
Yeah,
all.
you know, no, maybe he was in the team, but he never played.
He never played?
Hey, Waterboy.
Y luego regresó otra vez a la bolita. Man, that's awesome. No, pero sí, no, quiero mandarle saludos a compadre Pira Astudillo y a todos los fans de Laredo que nos están escuchando ahorita y porque pues, ustedes son los fans de Selena, son los mejores fans de todo el mundo.
Oh yeah.
Y
To
siempre
this
nos
day,
han
fíjate.
apoyado y nos han
all
dado
this
todo el
time,
amor.
and you're an icon. I mean, I don't kiss ass to anybody, but you gotta give people the credit where it's due.
Oh, man,
So what
thank you,
school was
guys.
that?
Nixon?
Nixon, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Pete went to Nixon. Okay, I'm,
Yeah,
not, gonna,
yeah.
I'm not gonna talk shit. 'Cause we're all product of Nixon.
I'm sorry, Grandpa's a little tired.
No, y vuelo total, de ahí agarramos vuelo.
Yeah.
Digo, you know, yo creo que, you know, adding, you know, Pira Astudillo, un servidor Joe Ojeda to the band, we kind of, I don't know, we added something different.
Yeah,
And
right.
that something different, esa chispita, got us going.
Faltó
Got us
esos
going.
ingredientes.
Yes, and no que le quite nada a nadie, porque
no.
everybody brought their talent to the table,
Yeah.
and la química con madre, la química siempre estaba bien,
Absolutely.
bien fuerte.
Absolutely.
Nos llevábamos con madre en el escenario, tocando en el estudio, y when we were not performing, nos íbamos al cine. We would hang
That's
out.
nice.
Yeah.
We
But
were like
everybody
a
was
gang,
young. Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah, that's nice.
so that was cool, and you know, we just kept on doing like recording songs y todo. Y me acuerdo when we got signed with Capitol Records EMI, that was like, wow, we made it already. Again,
Right.
Definitely no Pulga.
I thought it was La Pulga, but no. And then Roxy's, no. I think this is it. So
Yeah.
we got signed up by Capitol Records, la disquera Capitol Records EMI, y ahí boom, the rest is history. We were just we were just happy. We were just young.
Yeah, you
and
were
happy
enjoying
to be
the
on
ride.
stage performing
Right.
playing music.
And let me tell you, watching you guys on TV perform or whatever, like, that's Laredo right there. Like,
Exactly.
From Laredo. Like, de Laredo.
Yeah, baby.
That's like
956.
But it's
No,
it's
Laredo,
the
Laredo.
It's the Laredo part that makes it sound.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, and-
Well, you combine the
back
sound
then.
from this part of the world with the Corpus Christi part of the world.
Yep.
And that's what made it special.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't think Selena and Los Dinos would not be where they are, of course. without you guys. I'm sorry, but
And you know what? And I believe that, but the humbleness in me
Yeah.
kind of like
well,
tells me.
good. Don't ever lose that,
Yeah.
Joe. Don't ever lose that because we like you. We like you like that. We don't want an
Sí.
asshole. ¿De qué nos sirve? The assholes are here. ¿De
No,
qué-
no, no, no,
¿De qué
no.
nos sirve eso? We want someone that's got their feet on the ground.
Yeah.
That remembers where they came from, that
Yeah.
tells us these stories,
Yeah.
and they're real. They're not.
Yes.
You're not inventing anything.
No.
You don't have no shame in saying I started at the pulga.
Yeah.
I started. I mean, no, those are your humbling beginnings,
Yes.
and look where it took you.
Yes,
you know?
and I feel like, the humble in me like tells me like, yes, we did something good for them, and it's just, we became like a team, like, we
Of course.
I wrote the song, or I did this. Everybody, I mean,
Pulled their own
would
weight.
put in their talent, and it was special, man. It's
Oh yeah, man, I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah,
What an honor.
We were just traveling, from city to city, y en el boss nomás just playing around, Selena would always make us laugh.
Oh,
porque
yeah.
we would try to be serious. Y Selena,
All business, all
Oh
business.
my God, Selena was very funny, she would be making faces at us, so no, a veces pues I don't know, no la voy a tomar en serio, pero siempre nos hacía reír. Selena era una persona, transparente, llena de mucha vida, y tenía un corazón, y bien humilde también ella, bien humilde
No,
también ella.
and I think that's part of the reason we still talk about Selena today,
Oh,
because she was the heart and soul to a certain point, because you guys did your own thing. You all brought a lot to the table, but what I'm saying is that you could tell that she was never thinking, she never believed the hype. If they called her La Reina, whatever, she's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
She was just having fun.
Yeah.
She was enjoying life and having fun.
Yeah.
And I think when you lose that and start believing the hype, that's when you start messing up with your fans,
Yeah.
and when people don't want to work with you anymore. It doesn't matter how good you are. I don't know, you're an
Exactly.
asshole. Again, you're an
Yeah.
asshole. Nobody wants to be
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
Joe, I got
sir.
a comment from a viewer. Her name is Cristina Guerra.
Okay.
Say hi, Joe.
Cristina, saludos, Cristina. Gracias por acompañarnos ahorita.
They say, hi, Joe. I remember that you were supposed to play at my sister's wedding.
Oh, wow.
You called my father and you apologized because you were not going to be able to perform because you were on the road with Selena. How awesome! Blessings and wishing you
I
continued
guess that's when you
success.
found out that you were going to start,
Yeah.
So you couldn't make
Yeah.
it to her sister's wedding. And I think her father
the
said,
pulga, that's
oh, the pulga, yeah. There was chingos of people in the pulga.
Yeah.
¿Dónde está José? ¿Dónde está José?
Nomás hacía el puro rhythm box solo.
Y el otro, el camarada,
Swat, 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 swat.
really, dude?
And some dude unknown, some unknown dude
Sí,
doing
oh,
that.
Yeah, sí. Y detrás de las bocinas a veces. No,
Sí, todos sudando, pero el perfect hair.
Me decía, ahorita tú le traes unos 20 minutes. Que te vas a ir a comer un turkey leg y una piroma, espérate. So, yeah,
Sí.
otra vez vuelvo a lo mismo, gracias a todos los fans y a ustedes también, porque ustedes.
No, we want to
nos-
thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
It really
Just
means a
wanna-
lot. It
Your
really means a lot.
humbleness and your enthusiasm of doing this, it's transmittable.
Thank you, sir.
And for somebody like me who, never had the pleasure of meeting in person, but seeing the music and, hearing the music, and then you see a CD, but right in front of me, I have like Tejano royalty.
Yeah.
Oh, man, thank you guys.
You
No, it
know,
really is. It really is.
Thank you
and,
guys.
It's such a big thing for those that aren't here tonight. You have to understand that. It's like the energy you transmit, like you're reliving everything.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
and we thank you for sharing that. with
Oh
us.
no, it's my pleasure, because those are good memories that, están plantadas en mi mente, en el corazón, y son cosas que son buenos recuerdos donde yo puedo sentarme con mi familia y platicar de esos momentos con ustedes, con los fans, y es algo muy
bonito.
bien bonito, sí,
Yeah.
profundamente lo
Next
digo.
time we'll have those 7 keyboards here ready.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a Pete.
The Pete,
He'll bring Pete
the
over.
Jalala Pete.
Yeah, well, like Bad Boys.
There we go. A little reunion. There we go.
The Bad Boys, yeah, wow.
Yeah,
They're
bueno, ¿cuál
reunion.
quieres empezar, Pete? El Pipiripao.
So the
Pero
Bad
nomás
Boys,
que we're gonna be at the Pulga. ¿no?
Yeah.
we'll
broadcast
We're
from
gonna
the pulga.
broadcast from the pulga.
And what we buy, like, everybody that was there, El Bird, y todo.
El bird, yeah. You know what? That'll be awesome.
Yeah. That would be cool.
That would
We'll
be
make
awesome.
we'll make it happen. Believe me,
Yeah,
Joe.
no,
I'll let you all
Man,
know.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I know where to do this. I know where to do this.
We'll figure it out. We'll
That
figure
would
it
be
out.
cool.
I
That would be
got a place location already in mind.
All right.
Have you ever heard of Las Catarranas Country Club?
Oh, yes. You know what? I love the guys. Todos los guys que se juntan ahí. Beto
Choche
Ramón y
Medina,
todos
seguro que
ahí.
sí.
Eh,
There you go.
yes. And
I've been telling him we've been wanting to get.
no, I'm going to go. Dice que se juntan every Thursday.
Yes, every Thursday.
I'm
We can do a podcast there too.
I'm going to
know
go
what?
on a
That way
Thursday.
they can come by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sí, no, sé, siempre me invitan los muchachos y es bien agradecido y si están ahorita escuchando les quiero mandar un saludo a todo el talento que se junta en Cantarranas Country Club.
Country Club.
Yeah. Yes. A special appearance.
So the Bad Boys was Pete and you?
Yeah.
That was it.
Nomás éramos un dueto, los Bad Boys. Los Bad Boys.
It sounds like 30 people.
I know.
No.
I know.
I don't know why I always thought it was more. But
Yeah,
no,
and we say like, pues, that's, you know what, that was one of the things people would always say, the Bad Boys, pues no somos dos. Y luego se ven una idea, pues instead of the yes, vamos a ponerle una Z.
that's it.
Yeah, like, does it feel better?
check it up.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I am,
He's gonna hate me.
No, listen. If he's listening right now, he's probably laughing.
Well, he gets a choice to listen now or the rest. I mean, it's going to go up on YouTube, so he'll
Yeah.
catch it on.
That's right, that's right.
That's right.
So
That's
whether
right.
he listens or not. Any other story, man, memory, Joe, that you want to share with us? I mean, I know you have a billion of them, but
Man, there's a lot, but I might, yeah, I'm gonna share one with you guys because I think this was funny. Íbamos, pues we were traveling Berta, ¿verdad? Era un autobús no bien modern, man. Ya estaba correteada la Berta, like.
Yeah.
So, me acuerdo que íbamos otra vez para West Texas. Y era en diciembre y estaba frío, estaba como nevando allá en Midland, Odessa y el autobús, no, los calentadores no funcionaban. So, chineta,
That
todos,
sounds like La Bamba movie.
so, chineta, todos atrás donde está el motor, un poquito y el Abraham pulls into a Walmart y se baja y se mete a Walmart o Kmart, no me acuerdo, con uno de los roadies. And then nosotros, chinetas, man, nos estamos muriendo de frío. And then we see him coming back to the bus con some, like, those small barbecue pits.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Ahí lo bueno. Y le digo, Pete, chico, vamos a hacer carne. Órale, con madre. Una carnita. Sí, estilo 956. Y luego, guys, come on, help us out. Nos dice, suban los barbecue pits, ¿verdad? Al autobús and crank them up. What? You know, vamos a hacer carne inside the bus. Bien confused el Joe, ¿verdad? So bueno, está bueno. We did what he told us to do. Y empieza toda la humadera. Open the windows, Abraham. No, hombre, open the windows. No, si no sabían las ventanas. I can't, nada. So nos salimos corriendo del bus, ¿verdad? De Berta.
carbon monoxide
Y-
poisoning.
Yeah, man. Y cuando nos salimos, sí se veía toda la humadera. Boom, like, man. Y luego, pues, toda la gente que iba entrando, saliendo del supermarket, ¿verdad? Walmart o Kmart, pues se quedaban viendo. Y my thing was like, man, this, you know, that I probably think what they were thinking. I know what they were thinking. Estos mexicanos que tienen.
They're probably saying, mira el chozazo que trae ese en el
Oye,
bus.
trae
That's
algo bien
electrifying.
bueno. Sí. Y no, pues no podemos abrir las ventanas. heard it here first. Concepts, you know. De buenas que el voz no agarró. Yeah.
No kidding.
So we finally, apagamos todo y de ahí yo creo que se nos vino una idea de la carcacha when we got,
okay.
When we started,
You guys heard it here first.
Yeah, when we started throwing concepts, and what's uno agarra como de experiencia y todo, y de ahí sale algo bueno siempre.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, y pues de ahí salió el concepto cuando grabamos, carcacha, la madera. And I'm to this point I still say like, man, we should have like en vez de carcacha el autobús, pero no junk car. So we were like back and forth con el concepto y that was actually a cool story porque the faces on the people
Right.
that were like around the bus, man, like, y'all need help? Call the bomberos, call the,
No, that song belongs to Yuri already.
yeah, I know. Chineta.
Que le llamen los bomberos.
Man, I told you guys, aquí nos llegan los bomberos.
And that's where she got inspired from.
Yeah. So, no, esa es una de las historias que sí siempre me da risa when I think about it. When I think about it. And,
that
tengo
right
muchas,
there.
tengo muchas.
And you all
y-
heard it here first in
Yeah.
Big River Talk.
Yes.
Yeah, again, guys, those are the stories that I think a lot of people have you ever thought about writing a book, memoir?
You know what? I have a beautiful lady over here that was always telling me, yeah, write a book, saca el libro, yeah. And I'm thinking about it. I'm
You
thinking about it because I think there's...
We can call it Big Bertha.
Yeah.
Ah, no, or La Pulga.
Yeah, La Pulga.
She was a hot bitch that day.
I like that.
That
I like
day.
that. I like that. And I think I am,
You should, Joe. You should. You really should.
You have enough.
I mean, yeah.
project.
Who else can write it? Who in this earth can write it from your perspective? Nobody.
Can you imagine? And then your episodes, La Pulga.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Yeah, chapter
episode,
1, La
Episode
Pulga.
2,
Yeah.
Roxy.
Roxy.
Episode 3,
I'm
There you
serious.
go.
the Studios van.
Yeah.
Put Laredo on the map. I
Yeah.
mean, you'll be doing it for you, right?
Yeah. And for the fans. For the
But
fans.
what I'm saying is that yes, give the fans something.
Yeah. Porque digo yo, like, bien agradecido lo de la movie, ¿verdad? Selena movie, y luego el series, y luego el documentary que acaba de salir y todo. Pero yo digo, y siempre le digo a mi familia, a los fans, que, pues, hombre, faltaron muchas historias,
Oh, yeah.
Muchas historias. Y son cosas que sí me da mucha alegría que para que los fans escucharan las
They
las
would
historias.
eat that up, man. They would eat
I was
that
going
up.
to say, and that's what the people want.
Yeah.
Like we heard the music.
Yeah.
We saw the
But now
movie.
what's
we saw
behind
the
it?
concert.
How did it get there? Yeah.
Yeah.
What propelled you, catapulted you guys to keep on through the good, through the bad? I think that would be such a
Yeah.
sideline
Yeah.
story. That would be such a good.
Yeah, and the other chapter was it Robstown.
Oh yeah.
Chinga, people. Pues ni modo, that's it. I missed out.
Another
dude.
chapter, the speakers.
Yeah.
The speakers.
Yeah, I can already hear that stop. Yeah, I can already hear it. Joe Ojeda.
Yeah.
Joe Ojeda, you're under arrest, sir.
Oh
boy.
Yeah.
So there we were, right?
Yeah. And that was it. We didn't get to where we wanted to, but hey, yeah, I'm thinking about writing a book.
No, honestly, Joe, you really should because,
Yeah.
like I said, you got stories that nobody else. Okay, yeah, Pete's gonna have his stories. AB, everybody's gonna have their stories.
Yeah.
Because you were looking at it from different lenses, but I'm talking about your lens.
Yeah,
And
thank
then
you.
how that got you to where we are today with
We could
you.
do a series of podcasts, like Joe Hella Chronicles.
Oh yeah, the Chronicles of Joe.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. No, I'm serious. I mean, take,
That's why I get the big bucks.
that's why we're getting paid a lot of money for doing this. if I can make $1 off of this shit,
Sponsors.
yeah, sponsors start paying. but no, I mean,
the pizza.
I'm serious, Joe. But you need to do it right now before the German starts following you. You know who the German is, right? Alzheimer's. Yeah. Before he starts following you, you need to right now where it's still fresh in. Yeah, it's still fresh in your brain. The emotions are still there.
Yeah.
Get yourself a good editor.
Plus, there's still a lot of folks like Mr. Pete that can do collabs with you on that stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
You know?
Maybe
Yes.
the bad boys can get
Yeah.
together.
Oh
and-
my God, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be. I was
Yeah,
just
can you
thinking about
imagine?
that. I was just thinking about
Can you
that.
imagine a little show with that with you guys?
Do you have a manager?
Actually,
I'm sorry, Cindy. We need to talk. I just have so many ideas for you, Joe.
Yeah,
So many
I mean that's not a bad idea. Do like write a book together.
Yes,
and
definitely.
combine it, and that would be nice.
I mean, it's a book now, but it can get picked up as
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a series, the Bad Boy series.
Now that would be a
The
blessing.
Bad Boy Chronicles.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
because look,
Yeah.
yes, because look,
Merchandise.
who's your audience?
Yeah, we're
Check it out.
thinking merch already.
Who's your audience right now? People our age, right? Late 40s, early 50s,
Yeah.
with the expendable income.
Yeah.
Right.
But hold on, TJ. It's
No,
I
you're
was
right.
gonna say that because right now you still see the little girls dressed as Celine.
Yes.
Yeah.
When there's a concert or
He did it for your show
Yes.
last week.
that was
I'm
a
sorry,
bet.
but
That was a
Selena-
bet that he lost. Though.
I'm like, ¿cuándo comiste un caballo te quedó la cola de fuera?
So, but what I'm saying with that is that I'm sure it's not just Selena was the front or the connection to that group, but like TJ says, it's not just our generation. I'm sure there's new generations that are upcoming musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I went to I'm not gonna say, but to a Kiss concert,
Oh.
and there was a dad
badass.
like my age, but his little kid, long hair, and he was all the concerts he was playing his guitar, and then I talked like he's a fan. Like, oh, he loves playing Kiss stuff.
Wow.
So there's other generations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Believe it or not, you're like, you know what? There's other generations right now. They're getting started. They're riding around in vans with pan in the back and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Going to the
They
pulga.
can relate to
Yeah.
your stories,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I honestly
So,
do it.
Yes.
speaking
Thank
of
you, sir.
inspiration, check this out. We have a guest here. Well, she's going to be our guest next week. Manny Fuentes is a local fighter. She's about to fight. And we'll talk about that. We're not going to spoil it. But I mentioned to her that you were going to be here. And she told me something very, very emotional in the sense that Selena motivated her in a lot of ways. And so she is who she is today, not solely because of that, but the music that you all put out. I mean, you guys helped us out through a lot of shit growing up. A lot of shit. You know, imagine how many suicides, how many people contemplating suicide, how many people going through heartaches and tough times. And then you guys would come on and all of a sudden for those 3 minutes of that song, they were forgotten. And now, so it means a lot. It really does. So,
Thank you,
and she
sir.
wanted to be here to be here for this. like I said, we're gonna bring her on next time.
This is
Thank
a
you.
funny story because she's like a daughter to me. She and my son are best friends in the boxing world.
Wow.
And when I found out that she was going to be here, I was like, she's a huge Selena fan. And it was so exciting.
All right.
I support her. Since I know her since she was in kindergarten. My son and her growing up. And she's an inspiration to Laredo as well.
Not only that, she's a badass. So yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to piss her off.
Yeah.
Last time I went to HEB and I.
Excited to hear
She
her.
will
Yeah,
not-
she was
will
here.
not-
No. I went to HEB and I moved. I decided I didn't want to put this. I didn't want to take it, so I just left it there. Man, she was on me and like ready to kick my ass. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll take it back. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You don't respect stalkers.
Oh yeah. So again, she'll be here next week. She's gonna be our guest, but she wanted to be here. So when she told me how
Awesome.
much y'all meant to her, I mean, and she's one story of hundreds of thousands. So
Laredo, chime
across the
in.
world, across the world. So
Chime in, Laredo. We have a story to share.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
He's right here.
I know. I
right
mean,
here.
what else do you want? Jesus. What else do you want to bring you? You know, who else can we bring to get these people? No, the thing is that it's weird because after these podcasts, you always get all these people. Well, you know, why didn't you ask this?
should've. I wanted
I
to
should have.
say it.
Yeah.
So,
Coulda, woulda.
So anyway, so in 2 years I expect a book, Joe, and I want it signed, please.
You
To
got
Big
it.
River Talks, por favor.
Yeah.
So what's next for Joe Ojeda? What are you doing?
Pues ahorita, doing my own solo project con mi grupo, featuring Lorena Gómez, and you know, todos somos de Laredo, porque pues, y lo bonito es when sale algo, you know, the communication is, the chemistry también como lo que teníamos con Selena Lucinos is there. I can feel it, I can, you know, sense it, I can see it. So we're on the right track, and vamos a lanzar nuestra siguiente rola, I want to say like early May, para que, you know, para darle más a los fans, ¿verdad? Y we're gonna record another song, and es lo que vamos a seguir haciendo. We're gonna just what we did with Selena, like just let's do it because we love playing music and we love the fans when se prenden, se conectan con nosotros. So let's just.
So are
let's
you
just
doing
move forward.
any appearances? I mean, other than your gigs and stuff to promote your new music?
So we've been doing a great deal of interviews.
Yeah.
Antonio, since the Tejano capital
Of course,
the world.
of course.
And I'm mostly based. I'm from here from Laredo, but I'm mostly based out of.
Yeah, I was living in San Antonio. I just came down.
Awesome.
But we're doing a lot of interviews and just trying to get the word out there that he's back. You know.
And it's a process.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah.
But we've been having really good feedback.
Turnouts, yeah.
Turnouts, and we're just trying to get our.
That's great. If it's gonna involve getting arrested and busting out speakers, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll know we'll be on the right track. You know.
Let that be on your cover. A busted speaker with tape like that.
Yeah.
We just finished doing Fanfare, Spring Fest.
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
good.
nice.
That's good.
Mayo and
Great.
Yes, and we're Code 45 in San Antonio.
45, and so we have a lot of
Y luego Whispers con la familia Reina.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. No, I
Definitely.
mean,
Thanks so much, Whispers Bar Lounge, and your sponsors with
Yeah.
Wix for having us this past weekend.
Yeah, and come,
Yeah.
come back to us anytime you want to,
Yeah.
promote new stuff. You want to put stuff like that.
thank you guys.
So,
I mean,
we have our little audience that they'll chime in and they'll
Awesome.
get first taste.
Follow us on all social platforms.
Don't forget to send me
TikTok.
material.
TikTok is
Before they shut it down. TikTok.
MySpace, ¿cómo que MySpace?
MySpace.
I know.
AOL.
Right?
Volada.
TikTok,
Ask Jeeves.
On TikTok.
Instagram, Joe Head Official,
Okay.
Yeah.
Facebook,
Well,
Yeah.
MySpace.
Yeah.
MySpace. Yeah. So
MySpace.
I heard a story that you were self-taught. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's badass.
Well, I don't, you know, cuando iba a Nuevo Laredo, porque mi abuelita Candelaria, que en paz descanse, you know, vivía en Nuevo Laredo. So, cuando mamá y papá nos llevaban a Nuevo Laredo a una carne asada, ¡pum! ¿Verdad? Se juntaban todos los tíos y los tíos, pues, si no tocaban guitarra y se ponían a cantar y todo. Y luego, pues todos los primos, ¿no? Jugando los quemados y la vieja Inés y todo el pedo, ¿verdad? Y yo era el único que nomás me quedaba ahí con ellos. Y me decían los tíos, vete a jugar con tus primos. No, aquí estoy bien.
Yeah.
Ah, bueno, traemos la vironga. Soy chinga, bien
Que
contento.
cante Pepito, que cante Pepito.
Ajá, les traigo su vironga y todo. Y yo quedaba bien entretenido porque me gustaba cuando los veía a ellos ver cantar y tocar. Y le digo, man, I want to do that. I want to play music. So I begged my parents, please buy me something, a guitar or keyboard, y algo, unas maracas. Y me compraron un tecladito.
Un violín.
Sí.
Un violín.
Sí, me compraron era un órgano, era como un órgano de esos de aire, no sé si lo estoy diciendo bien, con 3 teclas quebradas y todo. Yo, ay, jefa, ¿dónde lo compraron? ¿Es nuevo? ¿No? ¿Te lo robaste o qué? So, de ahí, cada vez que salía de la escuela, en vez de andar acá, de travieso, ¿verdad? No, me prendía el rayo, me ponía a oír la música, las cumbias y todo, and I would just try to, like, play it, find the right keys. Y así me fui, and pues, gracias a mis tíos también, ¿verdad? Porque verlos a ellos tocar, como los veía bien contentos, y yo quiero eso.
Yes.
So, le seguí, like, and I remember when I saved up, and I got a Casio keyboard. Lo que pasa es que lo compré en Radio Shack. Chinga, con madre, check it out, po. El organito que tenía ahí. Sorry, come on.
We'll put you on top.
Yeah. No, you know what? On this side, sorry. Te estoy dejando unas cuantas teclas.
I want to be Pegaso.
Sí, po, I love Pegaso. So, de ahí agarré esa inspiración de enfocarme en la música.
Can you imagine if you were in this day and age, same motivation? Now you can just get on YouTube and you learn how to play. You were doing it from ear, just to figure it out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And another thing, I'm glad you brought that up. We didn't have audio tune back then.
Oh,
so
that's another
Selena,
one.
when she
Oh,
would
my God.
sing,
It was her.
That's when I ahorita, like, me recuerdo esos tiempos bonitos en el estudio y todo. Man, she was singing the notes.
Yeah.
She was singing the notes, no auto tune.
No. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna compare to
Real
the music.
talent.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
I'm
compare
not
to
knocking
this.
anybody nowadays.
No,
but-
I'm not knocking it.
but-
Because I use
but
auto tune.
that
Lo
was-
uso
that
como
was-
3 veces en el mismo track. Bien desafinado y todo. Pero no, it was talent. It was talent.
It was raw
the
talent.
passion.
Yeah. Well,
Raw
again,
talent,
so look, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
All of us
Yeah.
here in this room, there's 7 of us. 8 of us, right? I can't count.
Yeah.
I went to Nixon, so I can't count. So,
That's
so
why you're a radio host. You can't count.
I can't count. So what I'm saying is this: this is not by chance. A higher power. I'm not gonna say God because I don't want to offend anybody.
No, say it.
But a higher power,
I want him to get this.
a higher power put us here today together, and we may never have this experience again. So it's awesome. So what drove you as a little kid, instead of playing with your cousins, what drove you to be with your drunk uncles, talking of having.
The beer?
Yeah, Joe didn't tell us that at 7. Okay, tío. 7 con madre,
7
güey.
years old. Otra vez, tío. Otra vez.
Tócame la que se fue.
Sí.
Can you play tenor? 50 miles away from here? Yeah. But no,
Tócamela en do, en donde nadie te escuche.
wait, we can go all night, Joe. We're not gonna-
Hey guys, you
So-
guys are fun, man.
We'll be here all night.
So we'll be here night. So
Yeah.
so my point is this. So you it was in your heart. This was your trajectory, and those memories of you being that little weirdo. Because I'm sure your cousins thought you were weird. Like, why you over there?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm sure they still think you're weird. Because I think you're weird a little bit, but in a good way. What I'm telling you is that what put you there? It was your path. It was your life. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
True, they didn't think they were weird cuando decían una.
I know. Ahora sí, how weird am I?
Yeah, but it's funny because some of my primos would tell me, God, you're going to be a good waiter someday.
Bien fría la cerveza.
But my tios never tipped me, but it's okay. I forgave them already.
It's never
I
too late
forgave
to
them
ask for
already.
that.
Yeah.
But look, let me tell you. And so, can you read music?
No.
Okay,
No.
thank you.
No.
Thank you. So I cannot. Might as well put Chinese in front of me. I cannot read shit. I can get there. I can get a
Literally
guitar,
nothing.
and but So the problem is that sometimes people that are brought up in a band or whatever, and I'm not knocking it.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my experience. You take away that sheet music, and they're done. They're
Right.
lost.
Yeah, I seen it.
A lot
I
of them,
seen
not
it.
all of them, a lot of them. And then,
because it's
like you,
learned.
like you and me, put a sheet music in front of me. I'm like, you know, for gum, I don't know, but I think
Tic-tac-toe.
there's benefit for both. There's benefit
Yeah.
on both.
Yeah.
But the mere fact that you cannot read that is awesome to get to what you did, and that's to thank God the year right. That was
As
you
we
were able
say
to
in
do it.
Spanish, lírico, right?
Ándale, sí, lírico, yeah.
So yeah, because I can't read music either, and I've gotten criticized for it. I'm like,
DJ, you can't.
I can't read anyway. So.
And I was never in band tampoco in high
Ni yo.
school.
Ni-
Todo,
Well, let
you
me,
know.
quick story. So in Lamar.
Oh, Lamar, yes. I went to Lamar.
Yeah,
Boom.
go.
Shout out to Lamar.
Lions,
Shout out to the Lions. Shout out
for
to
the
the
green, for the white, keep fight.
When it was open campus.
Open, remember
was
the open
open
campus?
campus. Yeah.
What was the name of the hamburger place in front?
Um,
It was like right in the corner. If you had money, you know,
yeah.
if you were lucky enough to have
We
money.
would go to 7-Eleven.
Or across the street, yeah.
Across the street,
Yeah.
yeah.
Playing Frogger para que no te machucaran pinches borrachos a las 2 de la tarde, todos los mexicanos ahí. So anyway,
And they were picking up the kids.
Yeah, those are the ones picking up the kids. And I got there to my first day of band, and let me tell you how life throws little things at you.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to play tritoms. I wanted to play
Oh,
drums.
cool.
Right. So I get there and they give me a trumpet. I'm like, what am I gonna? Do you have another one so I can use it too? I mean, so they're like, no, all the drums, they're all taken. I'm like, and me being the asshole again. I put it down. I went straight to the council and said, get me out of band. I don't want this shit. I'm gonna play what I want to play.
Yeah.
So that got me. No, don't say something stupid.
No, what did you say to? Let me think about it.
Yeah. So my point is that everything, again, going back to everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything happens.
Yeah.
Nothing is by chance.
Yeah.
You were there at a Wix last Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And so you know, we were there, and of course, you know, I'm thinking, you know, Joe Posada. But anyway, so I knew. I mean, obviously, again, I'm thinking different name, but I
Yeah,
know who you are.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm playing drums in front of you, and I'm like, okay. I wasn't nervous.
Yeah,
I was
very
cool.
good, man.
No bullshit. Don't lie to me. You're like
No,
you're like
like,
all the women in my
man,
life just lie to me. No, that's not it. The thing is that you know you're gonna catch. You guys are gonna catch the mistakes. That's the curse of a musician, that you're criticizing what you're listening. Right? You're like, top key, top tune, top beat, whatever. You can't even enjoy it. Right? It's like me watching cop movies or military movies. I'm catching all the mistakes. I'm like, really, guys? Really?
The never-ending clip.
Yeah. You know, what is it? Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
They
Weapon.
killed 30 people. The next day, they're right back on the street. You know what would happen if I killed 30 people? It'd be months before I left the office. You know?
Yeah.
But again, you know,
Yeah.
it's a movie.
Yeah.
So it ruins it for me. I don't enjoy movies. I'm all criticizing all the time.
It's
You know?
Hollywood. Damn Hollywood.
Damn Hollywood.
Yeah.
So same thing with you. So when you're there, I'm like, shit. You know, and you know, it took me to a different level. I'm like, shit, I should have paid attention in practice, right?
No, but you know what? That actually también happens to me when we're performing and I see like a Santana or, you know, like, hijo. Y luego es cuando hago errores. Chinga, ¿qué cosa la cagué en baile esta cumbia?
Yeah,
Ching,
all of a
neta.
sudden you become dun,
Yeah,
dun,
so-
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, ding, ding. Like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, and that, I don't know, but I don't know. That también happens to me. Like,
Well, you know what it is respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
respect. When I saw,
Yeah.
when you all walked in, it's respect because, again, your history and what you've done, it's, again, not everybody gets to do it. That's why we need to go back to the idea of putting it down on paper.
Yeah.
It's very important. I
Yes,
think
sir.
it is.
Yes.
It's part of our culture.
Yeah.
Selena Los Dinos is embedded, and it's all our culture.
thank you guys. Yes, that,
It really
that
is.
makes me
It really
feel
is.
awesome.
Yeah. So and you guys took it to another level. Joe, thank you again, man. You have no idea what this means to us.
No, thank you guys. Thank you
Thank you to
guys.
Cindy and the real boss of
Yeah, the real boss. Thank you, DJ.
yeah.
Thank you, Fred. Thank
Hey,
you.
you're more than
Chris.
welcome.
This is Bojo.
Yeah.
No, Chris is Different. No, Chris had to work today, so he's
I
our
do
go.
apologize for that,
Hombre.
but you know what? I'm glad you're here because you
Bojo-
you actually inspired me. You gave me some ideas.
No, he's
That's
full of
good.
shit. I
Give
mean,
me a
he's full of
call.
ideas.
Give me a call. I got tons of ideas.
They never come to fruition.
You
I
guys are
think.
awesome, man. You
But-
know,
but
this is
again-
good. This is good for a podcast. You
Yeah,
know,
so
just
thank you for
having
thank you for
fun and-
yeah, no, that's what it's all about,
man,
man.
I like it. I like it.
So last week we had the folks from the Drag House, and now they're gonna launch their own makeup line.
Yeah, we
From
gave
an
him an
idea,
idea.
from an idea that I gave them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an idea. So
That's awesome.
Joe, stick around, please. We're gonna ask you to sign something, and of course, we
Sure.
we can't leave without getting some pictures from with you. But again,
you
thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you guys.
No, this was awesome. So guys, this is week 4.
Somebody called in and they want.
Yeah,
No.
we've been asking for
We've been
people to call
asking
in,
them.
but they, again, all Mexicans. I know I'm too shy. Yo no quiero. Yo no quiero. They're gonna make fun of my English.
Seriously, I'm starstruck because I'm telling you, I've seen, heard Selena. Whatever.
Yeah.
You already know.
You've
me.
seen
Oh,
the-
you're talking about Joe. No, I'm like,
You've seen the CD covers, but to have sort of say like the masterminds behind that
Yeah.
success, bro.
I know.
It's a little
Cindy said he'd do it,
starstruck, you
I'm
know.
like,
for me.
Oh man,
But
let's make this show into a reality show.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
know
go.
what?
we
Reality.
really should.
Man,
We really
that,
should.
that would be awesome. I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
It can be done.
You know what, Laredo? I mean, quiero mandar un saludo a la gente de Laredo. Laredo, I love you, Laredo. I love you, Laredo. You guys are special, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are special.
Yes, gracias a toda la gente bonita de Laredo, Texas. Y a todos en Nuevo Laredo.
I need some more glue.
Yeah.
But it's all fun and games till you see me chasing your car out. Licking the window. but no, again, Joe, I mean, coming, being a hometown boy, I mean, you made us proud. You still make us proud.
Yeah.
Keep
Thank
it
you
up, man.
guys.
Keep
Thank
it up.
You
We're
guys
look-
sounded good. You guys sounded good. And
Now,
I got excited when I
again,
saw
liar,
Art, when I saw
liar,
Art
Joe.
Trevino.
Yeah, Art.
Art, you play bass también? Like, what does he play, man? El güiro. Y like,
No.
Art Trevino, cada vez que se me descompone un teclado, una tecla, chinga, Art, I need you right now, man. ¿Dónde estás? Pum, y le llevo el teclado y él siempre me dice, son dos que les doy esa atención, ese servicio. Tú y Mando de la Mafia. Chinga, comadre. Digo,
So actually, we were here practicing on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
badass,
Like, this is
badass.
where we practice, and
Awesome.
he got a call from Mando. He was just saying, trying to show off. Mando, I don't give a shit. I know Joe Hela. Fuck you. I don't care.
You practice here, but it's on the second floor, right?
Pero I like Art porque siempre que me imagino que también Mando les llevamos los teclados, analog, no nuevos. Art siempre nos dice, come, just buy a new keyboard, man. Art, you don't get it. I mean, this is a sound
vintage.
that
It's
for, like,
vintage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know what, Art, I call him Grumpy Smurf. That guy, grumpy old man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Sometimes he'll walk in, he won't even say hi. I'm like,
yes, that's
¿dormimos
Art, that's
juntos o
Art.
qué chingados? ¿No te gustó? I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
So-
amargadísimo. And then it's-
something that Joe just said, like, that teclado, like, that's part of your book.
Yeah.
You can have like a display of the instruments with this teclado, this keyboard. We wrote like
Yeah.
a gotcha. It fell, and then we wrote. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just the whole.
Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah. And you know what? I get fans que me mandan un mensaje y me preguntan, oye, ¿qué sonidos haces para como la flor? And I love that. Pum, de volada, pum, pum, pum.
That's awesome.
Les mando el nombre del teclado, ¿verdad?
Right.
Roland D50
Okay,
con
okay.
el patch.
Yeah, for the sound, yeah.
Con el patch,
For that
you know,
effect,
Staccato Heaven y X.
That's crazy.
Y luego me da mucha felicidad, alegría cuando they reply back, oh man, yes, thank you.
I nailed it. I got it. But that's what I'm saying. There's
Yeah,
several generations, not just us. This generation. There's a whole lot more behind us that are still. You're still relevant to them also. So,
Yes,
You know how
it's,
many people they inspired.
Yeah.
No. And you'll never know, Joe. The thing is, you'll never know how many lives you touched just by simply playing a keyboard.
wow.
See how important that is?
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Thank you
really have
guys.
to-
You guys are gonna make me cry.
No. Oye, no, que cry. Now you have to do our intro music.
I know. No, but you're right. Ustedes también, man. You guys help us, man. You know, get to where we want to get. You know, of
course.
Thank you guys for all the help. También.
Well, we're always open. Our
Thank
doors
you.
are always
No,
going
you can, whenever
to be
you have a big
open.
project or whatever, come on
Yep.
over, man. I mean,
Thank
let us
you.
know.
Thank
Yeah, you want to promote it, you want to do whatever, you want to get some
Thank you, sir.
feedback.
Like I
before
said,
you-
we want to try to go out there as soon as we can. As soon as we get a better system, we want to go and do these on location.
On location.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We want to go to San Antonio. We're going to go to
Yeah,
different
get the
cities and
remote.
and do it
Awesome.
from your backyard, ¿me entiendes?
Yeah.
That way.
Awesome, man.
Well, not
You guys are
literally, right?
awesome.
Because
I know. I know.
con todo el pan de astudillos, todavía lo tiene ahí
Hey,
guardado.
an interview inside the van.
Oye, huele a chicken cordon bleu.
I'm telling you, I'm full of ideas. I mean, you got to tell me to stop.
Awesome. Yeah.
I need to write this down.
No, it was
I'm gonna
awesome.
include you guys. You
Make
know,
a song. Make
the
a song.
last chapter.
Hey,
The last chapter, los tres
make a song, the
pendejos.
bread van.
Yeah.
La troca del pan. La panadera.
Sí. Oh man.
La
this is awesome.
panadera, pura chingadera.
Yeah.
Sí. No, this is gonna be good. I look forward
Se
to
me
it,
cayó
Joe.
el pan. Se me cayó el pan.
Se me cayó el pan, se me cayó.
I'm trying to shut this down y tú estás con el pan.
I know, we don't let you out.
Aquí, a las 2 de la mañana el pan.
3 a.m. later.
Sí, ya. By the time-
I'll give you a percentage, guys.
Por eso. You know,
I
we want
write
him to come
songs
back.
too.
Yeah.
We want him to come back.
Oh no, yes, I will, man. You
But,
guys are awesome. I
no,
like,
thank you,
I
Joe.
like this connection.
No, and I figured it was gonna go easy because so far we've been lucky with our guests. I mean, you know,
Great, that's
everybody's
good.
been great, but you know, it's gonna be one that sometimes, you know, but like you make it so simple.
Oh man, no, it's you guys that make it simple.
no,
Thank you, guys.
We're gonna have one where like and, coffee time.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a sex question.
Dr. Ruth,
Yeah.
remember?
I
know you
Of course
do,
I do,
sicko.
yeah. Era mi novia?
All right, guys.
Y'all went to Nixon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of us.
Y'all remember Miss Mitchell, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I had a crush on her.
No, who didn't? Who didn't?
Exclusive.
That was-
Exclusive.
That was a babe.
No, everybody did.
Who
She was-
didn't? Like,
Yeah, she was so nice. She was
So then she,
so nice.
yeah.
No, ya la regaste. You can't walk that one back.
We
You
believed
can't walk
everything
it
you said up until right now, Joe. Chihuahua, Joe. You almost got through it. No, I mean, I flunked English on purpose. Several times. I'm like, no speako. You're no speako. I love you. I love you.
I would show up every after school. Do you need help with anything?
Anything. Cleaning erasers.
At her house, really, Joe?
No, I mean, la gente de Laredo's, man. Saludos a toda la gente bonita de Laredo, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are part of the process. Thank you, Laredo.
Yeah, no, I mean, so we really appreciate this, guys. And again, guys, week 4, we're getting through it. We had the honor of talking to a journalist.